Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Tales on Tap. We are back this evening for a little bit more D&D. We've been away for a couple of weeks due to illnesses and technical difficulties and stuff like that, but we're ready to return to Aerilon, Sins of the Peacekeeper. But we're not doing it alone. We're doing it with a bunch of friends. Here they are. Look at their faces. Give them a wave. They'll wave at you back. See, look, it works. Interactive media.
Apart from Natalie's face, because she left the thing and then rejoined. My fault.
Okay.
My fault.
That's why we'll be back with us shortly. But before we get into tonight's frivolities and festivities, we do have a couple of things to go over first. So please be patient with us for the next 5 or 10 minutes while we reel through that stuff. We're going to go first because there's a chance that it might be fairly heavily featured this evening to Dan. Can you tell us a little bit about one of our sponsors, please? Big Dan.
Yeah, of course. I can indeed. If, like me, you sometimes need to satiate your need for blood sport, hunting your fellow creature, or just generally killing, then you need to make your way over to Tom Kartos Battlemaps, where not only do they provide the finest backdrops to do your merciless killing, but also the tokens with which you will do it too. So make your way over there, find their stuff, purchase what you want, make your battles incredible, and then support people in this space.
Indeed, thank you very much. Next up, we've got another sponsor that we can go to. Natalie, can you tell us a little bit about Valkyrie RPG?
I can. So I normally just say who they are, but if you head over to Valkyrie RPG's website, they will be updating it, I believe, tomorrow with their new Yuletide calendar. Where you will have lots of dice in there. There's a couple of extra bits and I think some key rings as well. But it's a full Christmas calendar. There's only going to be 10 of them, so you have to be fast. You've lost my camera, haven't you? There we go. You have to be fast, and they'll be pre-orderable from tomorrow. So, but there are Tales 10 at checkout. We'll work on them. So,
nice. Get
your goodies. I don't like you're normally promoting Christmas this early, but you know.
Like saying 10 that are being released. Get there now. Tomorrow
it's
on
not on the website.
I will be.
This isn't a Sainsbury's selling pigs in blankets in September kind of situation. This is much more urgent. But thank you for that, Natalie. Yes, please go and visit Valkyrie RPG, one of our sponsors. You can find out some other stuff about what we're doing on social media. Evan, can you tell us a little bit about what's going on over there?
Yeah, like Chris said, you can find us on socials, absolutely everywhere. Anywhere you have your social media, you can search for us. It's basically the same name everywhere, so look us up. Make sure to follow us there, because if anything happens like it has happened during these past 2 weeks, it will be up there on social media. If there are anything that we need to get out quickly, it will be there. Also, there's usually our out of context posts that I keep reminding everybody of, but it's just because I love doing them. So make sure to keep your eyes on this week's post. It will come up after we play this session, just so I have some time to wrap my brain around what the fuck is going on tonight.
I've got to say, it has actually sort of influenced my mind a little bit, because now every time I finish prepping for a session, I sort of think to myself, oh God, what are the out of context pictures for this session going to be like?
Well, give me something challenging, Chris.
You'll get something challenging tonight, I hope. But, Dan, anything coming up or that we should know about?
Well, I am doing a D&D in the castle thing this week in Derby, which is going to be fun. It's a charity event where all the proceeds go to charity. It was really cool, actually. So they put the tickets live, and my table sold out in 24 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, it was one of the first to sell out. So we're going there. I'm going there on Saturday. It should be a load of fun. I can't remember who the event planners were. It has 7 in the name. I can't remember who did that. But if you Google D&D in Elveston Castle, you'll find it, and they run lots of events. So there's that. And then Christmas is coming up, so there might be some fun Christmas Tales on Tap stuff.
There
Yeah.
usually is. There usually is.
Then in December, as well as Christmassy stuff, if you're going to Dragon Meet this year, then check out the D&D show that's on, because I'm doing that. It's like a D&D pantomime that we're doing.
Oh my god, you're doing panto.
Yeah, D&D pantomime, yeah.
Oh,
wow.
And I'm kind of looking forward to it. But
You're gonna thrive doing
yeah, that's my kind of bag. That, so.
Usually people wait
film it and send it to me on social media, like anywhere on Twitter or
No, I
Instagram,
just called
anywhere.
because I would love to see it too.
Usually people take the panto turn a lot later in their career, Dan, so it's bold of you to do it this early.
Well, I just think, while the sun's up, let's do it,
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, fair enough. That sounds wonderful. And speaking of YouTubey Christmassy things, we've done a few of those in the past. Han, where can you find those?
Oh, on YouTube. Be sure to head over to our YouTube channel. Just search Tales on Tap. We're one of the first things to call up. You'll recognise us by the logo, or just hit the link in the description below. We will typically upload VODs of our streams every week, normally on a Sunday. Give us some patience there. If that doesn't happen, things are busy. Life is complicated. But in addition to that, we also have some fun videos on there, kind of helping a guide to playing D&D. We've got some other videos from conventions we've been to. It's a lot of fun time, and also kind of allows you to get to know us a little bit more and all the other things that we've been involved in. So go subscribe and hit the notification bell on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and every now and then you'll get weird little videos that we've decided to do, as well as all of our campaigns. Right, before we head into things though, there's one more thing that we need to get to. If you have an Amazon Prime account and you're over here on Twitch watching us live, or even if you're on YouTube, you can still do it when we're offline. If you link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get one free Prime subscription a month. If you have the financial ability to support us by subscribing, thank you. But if you do this, it doesn't cost you a penny. You only get one a month. So if you don't use it on us, please use it on someone worthwhile. We definitely are, in my eyes, I would say. I think we're worthwhile, but that decision's up to you. Right. Shall we get back to the long-awaited return to this D&D table for everyone sitting here today? We've been very excited to get back into things, so settle in, grab yourselves a drink, grab yourselves a snack, because it's time for tonight's episode of Tales on Tap. Last time on the Sins of the PeaceKeeper. Having finished their first case, come into contact with some otherworldly beings, and taken a bit of time to themselves to pursue their own goals, work on some upgrades, and the like. Reconnect with some old friends. The party returned to the Last Chance Saloon for their next case, and it was presented to them. An individual by the name of Waldrin Barbazan, an associate of the Regent, has not checked in which is very unlike his character. He seems to have gone missing without report. KIA, or missing it, not KIA. Whoa, MIA.
Spoilers!
Not a Freudian slip, I promise. And so the group were tasked on locating Aldrin, finding out what has happened to him, why he has failed to report him. They were given some scarce information, the location of his manor, some recent activity nearby, and told that they should not associate or mention the Regent's name to anyone investigating, because they do not want Aldrin to be implicated in case he has been taken or otherwise disrupted by someone in the know about this organization's activities. Could be completely harmless, could not be. However, as the group were making their way to Highcrest, the upper class portion of Valvaris, the Regent called back Arturius to his office and asked him to recount a most dreadful day from his past. The day his ward, Prince Tristan of the Kingdom of Lucis, went missing, taken, presumed dead. As this tale was recounted, we learned of some individuals from Arturius's past, some cohorts in the Crown's Guard, and a mage from the Mage's Council. All of them helped Arturius on his final days, but to no avail. And that is what led him to Valvaris. The Regent thanked Arturius for recounting this story, and Arturius left after a few sly comments back and forth. We pick tonight's game back with the rest of the party as they make their way across the city of Valvaris towards Highcrest by various means of locomotion. So how are you guys getting around right now?
Walking?
And what have you guys been up to on your way there?
We were just heading straight there. Was that not the plan?
Yeah, so we were planning to meet. So I checked back in and said to Arthur that we would meet them. We would meet him at the manor itself. So I assume with Marcus in the sidecar, we are just tearing through the streets. And
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
pushing Spike to see if I can get like the hang of things, see how fast it can go. If there's a particular like open road at any point, I highly doubt it, but if there is, just pick up the speed where possible.
I'm keeping my hammer close to the ground in case we're about to hit a pedestrian or something
Right.
so we can turn.
I love how you've already decided that you do the hammer turn now. The hammer handbrake turn. It's great. Okay.
I think just before we do south to the manor, sort of looking at the modes of transportation that everyone has, and then looking at his cockpit, sort of looks and go, I don't want to be the killer of fun here, but you know how we're supposed to be like undercover and stuff, and you're essentially riding like a really loud fire-powered bicycle thing? Two-powered unit. I don't know what this is, but it's kind of loud. And is that really what we're gonna do right now? Do we not need to be a bit sneaky about things? Should we show up to the guy's house all loud and sorry, I know what I'm doing, but it's just we are not, supposed to be known individuals, and I don't think this actually exists outside of us.
I hate that you have a point.
I mean, you can go if you want to. I'm just saying, like, it's
No, you are being sensible.
You know.
I just.
meant to be. Oh yeah, no one likes that. Yeah, trying to be undercover, right?
To clarify something I said last week as well, or last week? Bloody hell, no, 3 weeks ago. As I mentioned, sort of as you guys were moving through, obviously Valvaris isn't like it's not like a village or anything like that. It's a very populous city. It's very busy. All the roads are pretty much constantly full of carts. There's also the Silver Canal, which sort of trundles by quite often. It's not a quiet place. You are correct that this thing is, to people who might notice, something to take notice of. So yeah, there's merit to your caution, but it's not as if you're driving down a dirt road in the middle of a small village and everyone's like, what the hell is that infernal motor? Like, there are people who kind of double take, but it's quite a technologically advanced city. There's certainly no motor vehicles going around, but you know, it's
So
not
yeah,
like
I was just
not like
zipping around above them, like doing loop-de-loops, like completely ignoring this conversation, like seeing how high she can get before just like falling and then catching herself again and stuff like that. She is having a whale of a time.
Okay, let me get an acrobatics check from you, please.
Oh dear lord, dice already. I have to get my dice out.
And Jax, just while you were sort of trying to open up the valves a little bit, sort of getting carried away with the novelty of this new machine that Bandolier has lent to you. Let me have a... Let's go with... I wanted to say survival then, because you're trying to hang on for your dear life, but no. Let's go athletics, please, from you.
Really?
And I'll say you can be assisted by Marcus because he's in the sidecar.
Right, so this is the first time this has ever come into anything. I actually have proficiency in land vehicles. However...
Then you can add your proficiency bonus, absolutely. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever been in a campaign where that's kind of
relevant.
Yeah, no, absolutely you do, yeah.
Okay.
Proficiency.
Did you say Marcus advantage?
Yes, because he's basically preventing you from making any terrible mistakes.
Way better. Okay.
Well, we can only turn right.
Sometimes that's all you need to do.
22.
And Lumiel?
Day 20.
Okay, 2022. So Lumiel, you're getting the hang of this thing. You notice that the sort of ignition of it is not so sort of hair triggered. It's very much a case of once you're going for a good round. You know, you're going for at least 5 to 6 seconds before you're able to stop the boosters. You anticipate if you were to move, you probably need to be going in a straight line about 200 feet. Like you probably need to have about 200 feet clearance in front of you to be able to use this safely. If you hit something before that 200 feet was over, it would probably hurt a lot. And that includes the ground. Anything else that any of you guys wanted to do?
I mean, I think the question is just whether this is too ostentatious, really.
Never.
That's for you to decide.
I mean, sort of watching Lumiel do these aerial acrobatics, leaving smoke trails in the sky like really bad scribbles. He kind of sort of looks around and then, I mean, clearly, we're not really doing the whole
Arthur's
thing.
Gonna be
So,
arriving on
you know.
Arthur's going to be arriving on an elk, so everything's out of
True.
place.
Yeah, as you look up Gil, you do see off to one distance over some roofs, quite far away, but still visible from where you are. And these kind of things are visible from most areas of the city. There's like a smaller sort of sky barge, just sort of trundling along with a bit of black smoke coming out the back of it. Yeah, it's. I'm just trying to give you an idea that while this seems to be a much more advanced version of these things are kind of present in the city. So to the point they would turn heads, but not be like, quick, report it to the guards. There's a demon in the city. Like they've got this crazy machine. But it's definitely a head turner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, that's fine. I'll catch up with you guys on my carpet, apparently. So,
I mean, would there be any way? I mean, Gil's quite tall, isn't he?
He's tall, he's thin, he's quite.
Is there any chance they would fit on the back of the bike, or no?
You could try.
Should we swap? I'll take the carpet and you take the bike.
It's fine. It's very loud, and that is very fast and kind of scary. So you two do your motorbike and whatever thing. I will fly nice and quietly on my carpet, keeping Lumiel in eye line in case she, hits something like a passing barge, picks you on your windscreen.
At a certain point, you just sort of see Lumiel just go over the street that you guys are going down.
I mean, I am keeping an eye on the group, so I'm not leaving the group. I'm just fucking about above them.
All right.
Consistently doing loops.
All right, kind of on the tail. You know where we're going, right, Lumi? High Crest.
Yeah, I can see you. I'm actually getting a bit nauseous.
If you lose us, do you know where you're going?
I'll stick with you guys.
Yeah, please do. Okay.
I do. I come down to rest.
Roll out.
Okay, so you guys begin rolling through the city. And you've already checked in with Arturius. Arturius has explained to you that, actually, Arturius, after you leave the Last Chance Saloon, you know where the guys are heading, and you sort of start making your way to catch up with them, or are you?
So, I think given obviously what I've just done and recounted something that has been quite ever present within my mind for a period, quite a while. It's something I haven't really spoken about since it happened. I think I will start making my way there, but not like direct line as the crow flies as fast as possible. I'll probably be lost in my own thoughts and take a few turns that without even thinking or realizing it. It'll be a very jaunty little walk through the city absent-mindedly.
Sure. Are you taking Eslandir, or are you?
No, I'll be walking. Again,
it's a walk across from where you are. If you want to go to the map, you can see you're at the Last Chance Saloon right now. The rest of the squad, you guys are. Hang on, I've got something for this. You guys are probably sort of making your way. How do I do this? There you go. Oh, there's the gang. You guys are probably sort of making your way somewhere through Grand Market now. But Arturius, you've just left the Last Chance Saloon. You could catch a Silver Canal ride down to Witham and then join them from there. There's a couple of entrances up to High Crest. If you see High Crest up here is on a bit of a plateau, the same as the Palace grounds and the Regent's Field. They're all up on this kind of higher plateau overlooking the city. There are a few entrances. Two of them follow the Silver Canal rails here and here into Marble Garden and Varvaden. Another one also straight into the Palace grounds, which is where you guys left when you left Vigilance House at the start of this campaign. Barbazon Manor is over towards the western side of High Crest, the southwestern side. So probably the easiest route for you guys traveling through the streets would be maybe through the Crystal Plaza or through Marble Garden and then up here and then across.
To answer your question, then I'll probably walk up from the Last Chance towards the Toadstool, get on the Silver Canal, and then either up through Varvaden or through Marble Garden up into High Crest.
Okay, cool. So you're not taking the Elk?
No.
Or you're dismissing it?
Yeah, I'll just dismiss it for now.
Okay, cool. So that's 2 silver pieces for that ride on the Silver Canal, Arturius.
Sure.
And the rest of you start making your way through Marble Gardens and up towards High Crest. Anything you guys want to do on the way? Any conversations you want to have amongst yourselves or anything like that? Or are we happy to just crack on?
Not for on the way, mainly because of the sound of the motorbike is probably too loud. And what Marcus has planned to say is not for pedestrians walking on the sidewalk, catching him screaming.
Yeah, fair enough. Well,
once we get about halfway, Lumia will touch her tail, and are we going to wait like a distance away just to kind of meet up with Arturius, or is he just going to meet us at the door?
Well, Arthur, what about you? What do you think? Given the fact that you're on this line.
Yeah, I'll just meet.
This.
I'll meet you there, but you guys have got a bit of a head start, so you guys take the lead. I'll get there when I can.
I know a nice cafe.
Really
Cool,
go with,
cool.
like, one of those little biscottis.
More for a stakeout than anything else, but sure. Yeah.
On that note, I'll probably be there before you. Do you want me to? do you want me to, like, I don't
Give you a
know,
muffin if you can.
like kick down some doors, get some answers for some questions, or what?
We'll just meet you at the gates. We'll wait for you at the gates. This is like a big house, isn't it? Like, it's a gated house.
Yeah, you don't know. Oh, well, actually, yeah. Marcus knows that most of the houses in Highcrest are behind walled gates with private gardens surrounding and things like that.
Some of them have a few private guards as well, I imagine.
Yeah, especially those described as manors.
So yeah, we'll meet you near the front gates.
All right.
So you guys begin making your way through the city. Given your means of locomotion, you've and knowing the general rules of the area of the Crystal Plaza, you decide to circumnavigate that. Probably not the best thing to take infernal motorcycles through and jetpacks and things like that. But you do head through Marble Garden. You pass the Pillars of Governance, which is the main parliamentary building of Valvaris. This collection of huge circular towers all clustered together, seemingly of different makes. One of them looks very elven. One of them looks sort of short and wide, very sort of hard angles, dwarven design. One of them looks just like a very sturdy fortress. It seems as though over time, different cultures and different creeds have added their architecture to this building over ages, and it has become this collection, this towering cluster of towers known as the Pillars of Governance. And just opposite that, the Crown's Judiciary, which is much more sort of Gothic looking, very much like the Houses of Parliament in London, lots of spires and buttresses and things like that leading off, several different courthouses and things around the main judiciary building. And finally, you pass the Argent Tower, a familiar location to most of you, but especially to Marcus. And you head towards one of the southwestern gates towards Highcrest. Now, Highcrest, while it is one of the upper class, more affluent locations of the city, it is not walled or gated. There's no strict permission that you need to enter Highcrest. Anyone can go, but there are some rules around this part of the city. Or not so much rules, but an authority known as the Gold Coats. These are an unofficial kind of, not corporate police, but hired and funded by some of the noble families and well-off families that live in Highcrest to just kind of keep the riffraff out. And as you guys are coming towards that area, you do see 3 of these gold coats who are signified by a sort of white tabard with gold trim over ramshackle armor and just sort of mercenary plate and leather plate armor and stuff like that. But all of them have this kind of tabard. And they sort of step out into the road as you guys are approaching and hail you down. What do you do?
Stop.
Marcus, under his breath, you hear Jax just go, "Fucking classist enforcers," and slows the bike down.
Okay.
I
Rest of you?
land behind them.
Okay. Okay, you come you're entering. You've just entered Highcrest, which is a much more affluent part of the city. Everything's sort of gleaming white stone, and there is this group of gold coats approaching.
High or low? Am I flying?
That's up to you, my friend. How are you going? You were in the same formation that you were traveling when you left. So I believe you said you were up with Lumi.
Yeah. So sort of trying to keep high enough so that it doesn't really attract too much. So like 80 odd 100 feet up, like trying to keep out of any particular eye line, trying to sort of blend in with just overhead things.
Okay.
Every so often he'll put his coat out trying to look like a bird maybe and just sort of cast the shadow, but like yeah, very much just
So you're trying to not be noticed by these people who have summoned or beckoned Jax and Marcus on the bike. You're trying to stay above their eye line and not go down with them. Is that right?
Pretty much. I imagine if Jax and Marcus are on this motorbike, it's quite a sight anyway. but just in case, as he goes over, he'll just take the ends of his coat and just start flapping ever so slightly across, trying to look like some kind of large bird, or just like something sort of like sticks a leg out to try and make it look like a beak or something. It's just sort of like flying across and like a sort of weird jazz, like.
Okay. Well, it was going to be a stealth check, but because of that, I'll ask for a performance check, please.
Yeah.
Impersonate a bird.
Do I get any kind of advantage for being so high up and out of view? Like
it's going to make it harder for them to spot you.
Okay,
so
cool.
whether they spot you is dependent on them. Whether they spot you and then you convince them,
you're fine.
Performance.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you being up
Literally,
high
I'll
raised the
notice him
DC for them
doing
to spot you, but if they spot
Yeah.
you, this will be harder to.
16.
16. Okay. So as you guys pull over and Lumi, you drop down behind, one of them sort of, as the two of them come to approach you, Jax, one of them who sort of stops walking a little bit as Lumi drops down from the sky, kind of stops for a minute shocked, and then kind of looks up, looks at Gil, scratches his head, and he's just sort of looking up, scratching his head as these other two approach you guys.
It's the weirdest fucking bird I've ever seen.
What business have you in Highcrest?
I live here.
You live here?
No.
Yeah.
Visiting family.
Visiting
His
family,
family.
is it?
His family live here.
The other
point to
one,
Marcus.
the other one who's not addressing you yet, does sort of walk around and crouch down by the side of the bike. Says, "Bloody hell! What the hell is this?"
It's a prototype.
Name?
Marcus Soulmorn.
Marcus Soulmorn. He writes it down. And you?
Jasper Westwood.
Jasper Westwood. And what about you at the back there? Little one.
Lumiel whispered you?
As you guys are giving your names, the one who's taking your names down says, "Right, well, by edict of the Crown Council, the Gold Coats have supervisory jurisdiction in the borough."
Yes,
And then the one
I'm
who's
aware.
the one who's checking out the bike goes, "Wait, Westwood? As in Commander Ileana Westwood?
Yes.
Commander of the First?"
Yes.
He stands up and steps back. "Oh, you said your name was Jasper?"
Yes.
The other one who's writing down the names just sort of looks over and says, like, gives a what's going on? "This is the son of the commander of the Valverian 1st Battalion March." They sort of stand up straight and say, "Oh, apologies. We didn't realise, Sir Westwood."
It's fine. It's just... Yeah, it's fine. Are we clear to continue?
Of course, be on your way.
All right.
As soon as we take off, I turn to Jax and go, "You fucking outrank me in my own district, you bitch!"
Can I get a perception check? So you guys take off on your bike.
Yeah.
Lumi, what are you doing?
I'm following behind. But if they're not like speeding, if I can catch up just using my own wings, I will keep up with them. Just
we're
under
going
my
at a
own
more
force.
leisurely pace.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay. Gil, are you doing Gil, are you doing anything from your, for now, undetected? The one who was scratching his head, you sort of go over a rooftop. He just goes, looks down at the floor, and then just starts listening to the conversation that the rest of them are having. You seem to have passed yourself off as a very large bird.
Nice. I mean, yeah, sort of not wishing to look down or sort of make any kind of, obvious things. He's just going to keep very slowly flapping forwards every so often, sort of like stopping and hovering as if he's like spotted something in place, and then carries on. I'm going to use minor illusion every so often to just create like a falcon cry, or just some sort of like bird sound coming from my direction, and then just continue on to where I need to be.
Okay, yeah, and eventually after a couple of minutes, as you sort of crest over a rooftop again, you notice that Jax and Marcus are pulling away. Now these sort of, or at least one of these gold coats is standing very much to military attention. The other one is kind of just sort of awkwardly, jankily standing to attention, like he doesn't really know what he's doing. Lumi, as you're flying away, can I get a perception check from you, please?
Perception is +6, so that is 24.
24, bloody hell. Okay, yeah, you hear as Jax pulls away with Marcus in the side chair, and you sort of begin to flutter off after them. You hear the one who shot up to attention at the name Westwood sort of lean over to the other one. He said, "That's Commander Westwood's son. She's the one who got me this job. He's the one Captain Drake told us about."
Is that a name that I would recognize, Captain Drake?
No. You guys carry on through Highcrest, and as you do, this area is much less densely populated. Most of the people seems to be walking around with some staff. It's still quite crowded. There are sort of sellers going around. There are some beggars and things like that, although you do see one sort of being spoken to by a couple of gold coats. It's affluent, but it's sort of fairly open. There's a certain type of person here, and the people who aren't of that type of person do stick out, and a lot of them seem to be being sort of questioned and asked what they're doing. There are some carts going around still quite a busy street, but not so dense as the rest of the city that you're used to. It's a lot more open and airy. There's a lot more little gardens and things like that. All the houses, the residential areas are behind high walls. All the restaurants are very sort of boutique-y and,
I don't know what you mean. It's perfectly normal.
it's all very sort of coffee shops and wine bars and things like that. It's disgusting. You start making your way through Highcrest. So who knows where you are going towards Barbazon Manor? Who's leading this?
I mean,
thing?
it would
Do
take...
any of you know where it is, or do you need to do some investigation?
This is something that I was meant to clarify with you prior to the game. Did not, because weeks happened.
Those do tend to happen.
My parents also live in Highcrest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we were told it was near the border between.
Highcrest
and the West Arches.
Yeah, it is correct. So you've sort of entered around here, and you're now making your way west through Highcrest. And the southern part of Highcrest is while much more affluent, is a little bit more sort of transitional than the rest. So sort of from that, I'm guessing, are you asking if you know where it is?
Well, no, I wouldn't specifically know Barberton Manor. I'd probably just end up stopping and asking someone. But I also don't want to ask anyone to raise attention. Marcus?
Yeah?
Do you know where this place is?
I
Specifically?
think we said that I did know around about where it is because it's quite close to me, right?
I will say, give me a history check.
Yeah.
It's not something. This isn't the kind of person who's very in the public eye. Like, he's sort of minor celebrity, becoming more minor with each generation.
How about 24?
Oh, damn.
24. Okay, yeah. You do know where you're going. You do know where Barberton Manor is. In your time sort of in the Argent Star, you've made note of notable people and things like that. So, and also you do know who Waldron Barberton is. You know his history as within the governments and within the law enforcement agencies of Valvara. So you have a loose knowledge of this guy. You probably know roughly where the manor is.
Yeah, I think take a left and then 2 blocks
Maybe,
right.
like, just point in the direction I should go and I'll follow where you're pointing.
I'll point out the hammer.
Yeah, I did know what left was, but yeah, thanks.
In 100 yards, please turn left.
Yeah, if Marcus was a warlock, his
Yeah, hammer's magic item is like.
His patron of Tom.
Oh, I'm making a warlock now, and I'm naming my patron Alexa.
yeah, that's so good.
Don't, it'll mess with everyone's home device system. Speaking of
As you guys make your way closer to Barberton Manor, Arthur, you're sort of getting off at a station just to the west of the palace grounds. It's the South Highcrest station, and you begin to make your way further into the district. Anything you want to do?
Not really.
All right, fine. We'll just skip to the bit where you all get to the manor.
Yeah. There's nothing. Kick a rock.
No, I just thought.
As I
I
walk
wanna
past the gold cloaks and they approach, we just go, I already give money to charity, and just
I
walk
want to
past
give you
them.
guys ample opportunities to do anything you want to do in preparation before we get there. Those opportunities have now passed.
I will.
No, too late.
Hold on, I'm just checking my inventory. 1 sec. I'll drink my potion of healing.
Ooh.
So I'll drink that on the
Right.
way, just so I've got my hit points back to where they need to be ish.
Okay, cool, yeah. Sweet.
Are they not where they need to be because of the flashback?
No.
No, that was a different character.
Because we decided to engage the one-wheel whippersnappers.
Oh, yes, of course.
Indeed, there was a couple of blows exchanged here and there.
Giggity.
Okay. So eventually, first off, you guys arrive, not Arthur. You guys arrive, and there's a lovely street, beautifully paved, with various manors lining each side of the road, almost sort of like a holiday terrace kind of thing that you'd see being built on a Greek island or something like that. It's all very cookie cutter, posh home condo manors, leading up this slowly winding and inclining street. And you do get to what Marcus identifies as Barberton Manor. You notice that the building behind the wall, which is about 8 foot tall, you can just about see the roof of it, is a single story home, almost kind of chateau-esque in its design. And standing outside, off to the side of the main door into these walls, there are 2 Castilias. Just standing around, looking bored, as if they're waiting for something.
We're gonna wait here, right? for Arthur?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably best.
Just
So-
while potentially having a little walk around and seeing if we can overhear anything, just while we wait. Birdgill,
Cacaw.
doing amazing, sweetie. Can you have a little aerial view of what's going on around as you're up there?
Cacaw. Screech. On it. And
It's
keeping
really good.
keeping a steady incline up this way, I would like to do an aerial sweep of the house, using minor illusion this time a bit more effectively to create what looks like the shadow of a tail and some sort of bird-like head at the back end and the front end of the carpet, so the wings actually have something to be attached to. I'm just going to circle this thing, see what I can see from up above.
Okay, so you're making use of your magic, of your minor image to make your silhouette a bit more convincing.
Bird-like, yeah.
Okay, cool. With that, I'll have a stealth check with advantage, just to make sure you don't get spotted.
Cool.
The advantage comes from this
Oh,
bettering of your
UAV overhead.
UAV online.
Yeah.
Dirty
Three
20.
streak. What is what? Sorry.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
Nice.
Okay, that will.
I am the bird.
And it will do. Okay, so you start sweeping over the manor. You see your friends sort of gathered on one side of a street, still sort of making a slow pace upwards so as not to catch anyone's attention. The outline of the building is very, very much as you see here. However, you do get a look Oh, no, that's not how you do it. You do get a look. Oh, that's not how you do it either. Whoop. There we go. Grab. You do get a look at the interior sort of garden area, where you see a few statues in the garden on a little fountain and a nice little lawn. But there are no sort of skylight windows on the property. It's all sort of terracotta tiled roof. But yeah, you do get the full 360 of the building. About sort of 10 feet this way is where another wall starts. And these appear to be sort of servants' exits. Around the back here, you see there are dumpsters and things like that, bins and all those kinds of.
And there's no evidence. There's no evidence of like disturbance in the ground. There's no evidence that anything appears to be wrong at all. It is just a very normal-looking house.
Okay, make a perception check for me.
Cool.
I need to ask, what on earth is that meant to be on the fountain?
It's a
No, yeah.
horse.
Is it a horse?
Yes.
I think
Well,
I'm just
Like a horse.
looking at
Gil
it
might be
wrongly.
about to find out.
That would be an 18.
An 18, okay. You scan the perimeter of the building. You don't see any signs of a struggle. You don't see any signs of a break-in in any of the sort of back windows or anything like that. No smashed glass on the floor near any of the windows. As Han correctly surmised, this statue is of a white horse, and these appear to be statues of people reading books. There's a small wood area to the side of the door. There's a couple of entrances that you can see from the outside, one on this side and the main double doors on the front here. But there don't appear to be... Oh, there's one small back door here as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, no signs of a disturbance, no signs of anything suspicious, no signs of any other personnel apart from these two Castilias standing out the front.
So yeah, circling the building and keeping the sort of the bird acted up. He's going to take like a wide bank away from it, but talk through the headpiece. I forgot what it was called. The
Tail.
Thank you. Of course, it's called a tail. I should realise that's part of our name.
Part of our name.
This is Falcon 1 for now. I am doing my aerial sweep. I can't see any extraneous details or like weird looking shit on the ground. There's a big white horse statue in the courtyard and some statues of people reading books for some reason. Other than that, it looks pretty clear apart from the two people with you. Hawk 1 out.
Wait, did he just change his like code name like mid message?
You should see the image, and you'll get why.
The rest of you sort of making your way and sort of loitering on the street a little bit, beginning to. What are you guys doing? I can't hear you. Han.
Works if you're not muted, Han.
Yes, it does.
Oh, how embarrassing.
God, it must be so
Speaking
embarrassing.
of loitering and getting close to loitering, is there anybody else down the street or around?
Yeah,
Like,
there
anybody
is
else who's
road.
loitering?
There is street traffic. There is, a few people walking up and down. Carriages go past every now and then. It's not a deserted street. It seems to be a fairly as busy as any other residential street would be.
Yeah, I'm more kind of thinking because you mentioned that the Suits and Stars have been asking questions here. Is there any sign of them dwelling still? Obviously, we've got the Castilians out front, but is there any
Make a perception check.
No. It's a natural 1 for a 6.
Oof, no. No, and you're even sort of looking at these Castilias, and you're not quite sure. Like, I mean, they could be Argent Star, but they look a little bit too rough to be Argent Star. They could be cops, but they're too well armored to be Custodes Populi. So they must be. I don't know. Who are they? Maybe they're just gang members. Maybe they're murderers. Why would they still be here? You have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Any of the rest of you doing anything?
Jax is gonna take a swing.
Jax is like staring daggers at these, like running his eyes up and down, just like, who are you?
I'm Batman.
You know what I was doing my aerial sweep of the building, getting surveillance. Are there any like high balconies, any places for me to like land within the residence without actually having to go through the front door, like rooftop things that are high that I could potentially just sort of.
The rooftop is fairly not that steep. So you could land on the rooftop, but you would be risking getting seen on your descent. And you would also be risking making noise to whoever's in the building. But there's no balconies attached. It's a single-story building, much like a sort of chateau bungalow kind of situation.
Oh, I thought it had multiple floors. My bad. Okay.
No. Single story. You can only see the roof from over the other side of the wall.
Right.
Arturius, you begin heading towards the location that the others have signified to you. You see this very large bird circling above, or but then once you sort of get the essence of it, you begin to realise. Having heard the conversations, you're like, oh, that's what he meant by.
You just see Gil do like a really deep bank and just come past you and just go, and then just like shoot off into the thing. Going full Top Gun.
Wingsuit in his magic carpet.
You are a genius, Artemis.
Just an out-of-the-box thinker. Stay there. I'm going to land with you. It looks less weird if I just appear as a bird man. And then I will find the most, I don't know, like the least sort of open area for me to just sort of like dive down into and come to sort of like a nice little stop and roll the carpet up, sling it over everyone's like.
Many of the walls outside some of the other buildings have, like in this area, have hedges and stuff like that. This isn't. I know this bit here looks very barren. The bit that you're standing in right now. I just didn't want to start you in this tiny little area here or in a completely blank space. So there is areas and little alleyways between the houses that you can duck into to
land.
Discreetly.
Cool. So yeah, I'll land discreetly and meet up with Arthur. His hair pushed back into like a nice thing before he ruffles it back into place. Shall we?
Yeah, sure. Lead the way.
Cool. There. And he will roughly lead you to where we need to go.
I'm gonna take my tail and behind my back swap it to Argent Star.
Okay, cool. Fine. And are you guys approaching the door?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm heading
on
to
foot.
the Castilias.
You what?
Heading to the Castilias.
Okay.
Rather than the door.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go and like. This is not a gang operation with 5 of us approaching this. I'm literally hanging back and seeing what is about to happen, because if it's bad, then
I'll do the same. I'll do the same if Arthur seems like he's stopping somewhere. Artemis will hang back as well.
Okay. Jax, you're heading up to the Castilias, and Marcus, you're going towards the door. Lumi, what are you doing?
I am sticking with Jax.
Okay. So as the three of you begin to approach the door, Marcus taking a much more direct route towards it. Jax, as you and Lumiella are approaching, you sort of see the Casteliers take notice of this person approaching Barbazan Manor and begin to sort of step towards to interpose Marcus between the door and himself. And they sort of start going, excuse me. Can we help you? Is something... What are you here for?
Well,
Jack.
I'm actually here to get some information off of you.
I'm sorry. And Jax, you approach these other two as well, and they sort of take you and Lumi in. Who are you? What business have you? What have you here?
I'll pull the badge out.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check.
Nice. Okay. What's my persuasion skill? Oh shit, I have proficiency in this. I don't know
Hey.
why, but I do. 21.
Nice.
Sergeant Star?
Yeah.
What business have you here?
That's a little bit above your pay grade.
All right, well, good luck getting any word out of him. Waldron's not here. And they
Really?
both just kind of fold their arms and stick it, and like one of them spits on the floor.
Have you been here long?
Been here since this morning.
You just
Right.
posted here to keep an eye out, or what's your duty here?
Are you Star as well?
Jax kind of like turns to like, can I try and subtly like take the tail off and do a similar thing, and like as though I'm reaching through and I change it in my pocket or something like that.
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand.
19.
18. Okay. You make this fluid motion, you kind of like give a little sort of frustrated flick of your hair, and in that motion flick the tail off your ear. There's a slight pull as it unclips from the back of your neck, and you reach into sort of your cardigan, long cardigan, and produce what?
I would also do an Ardent Star badge, I think.
Give me a persuasion check as well. This one with advantage, because a bit more believable.
Because I don't have proficiency in this.
Only believable because Marcus has already passed.
Yeah, 17.
17. Okay, cool. Well, we've got our orders. Sergeant wanted us to give word to Waldron, but Mr. Lord Barbazan, Sir Barbazan.
What kind of word?
I think that might be a little bit above your pay grade, mate.
You really want to go through this type of paperwork? I don't.
There's no
I'd
paperwork
like
with me,
request
son.
it from your sergeant myself.
Fine, ask him. Sergeant Colesworth.
Colesworth, okay. Ah, fuck me, this is gonna be a headache.
Look, whatever you're here for, I'm not trying to interrupt nothing, but we've been trying to get him out here all day. We've been asked to bring him in, but he's not under any suspicion of anything, just for questioning in another matter, apparently. Like you said, above our pay grade. But you're welcome to try.
Bring it in.
We've been, yeah. You're Argent Star, you should know you got to bring in witnesses every now and then. Who do you think they send to do it? You lot don't do your fucking legwork, do you?
Do I look like I don't do my legwork? And I stare him down.
Maybe an intimidation check.
He never forgets leg day.
Not 20.
Not 20.
Wait, let me see if I have intimidation. Jesus Christ. Ironically, I do not have proficiency in this, so it's a 19.
So, well, it was a natural 20 though, right?
Yeah.
He sort of goes, gee, all right, bloody hell. It's only making a joke. Look, the butler, Abroth, he's a crone old fool. He don't listen to us. Maybe you can sweet talk him or something like that.
I'll do my best.
We told him we needed to speak. He said the master of the manor is not available. So my sergeant said, you wait until he fucking is.
God. Do you guys want a sandwich or something if you're waiting for so long?
They look at each other and nod at each other. That'd be lovely, yeah.
Any dietary restrictions? Anything like that?
Small portions. Can't eat them.
Small portions? Have you seen me? Do you think I eat a small portion?
Some of you stars are all right.
Yeah, most of us are shit.
Same here. Don't tell the civvies that, though, eh?
No.
So Jax is gonna kind of like begin walking away at that point and just under his breath and just they already know. I'm gonna go back and just find Arthur and Gil.
Okay. The two Castilias lean back against the wall to the side of the main gate. One of them begins packing a small clay pipe. They look bored. Very bored. And not really urgent or standing to attention or like there's a desperate matter at hand. They look like they've just wait there until he comes out. They're almost on a stakeout kind of thing. Marcus, as you actually Lumi and Jax, as you weren't engaged in the conversation, you did notice that there was a button to the side, like a doorbell to the side of the door with a little stone mouth above it.
The main door
presses the button.
Yeah, just to the side of this door here, just here on this little post.
I press the button.
You press the button. Okay.
She always presses the button.
You press the button, and there is a. And then a couple of moments later, the mouth. I told you, the master of the house is not taking visitors yet. You'll be informed when he is available. Good day.
Jax.
What? You press the button?
She doesn't know what to say, though.
The mouth closes and turns back into stone.
Oh. I should have thought that through.
Button.
Yes. You
I'll
should
press the
have.
button again.
Okay. Did you go back and grab the others?
That's what I was going to do, yeah. And then I got summoned by this.
Marcus pushes the button again. This time there's no response.
I assume this is Aproth.
Yeah, told you.
Right.
You haven't heard him really angry yet.
DM, looking from where I am, is there any shops or anything, or bakeries, or anything along this street within the vicinity?
Yeah. You see probably about maybe 8 to 9 addresses down.
Mm-hmm.
It's too far down because these are quite large plots of land that each of these buildings are on. So it's the facade of the building is outside of your vision because also the road curves away from you.
Mm-hmm.
You do see that there is a bunch of cafe tables sort of out spilling onto the street. Not spilling, you know what I mean, like set up on the street, which indicates this might be some kind of cafe or something. And there is even further down as the road curves away, just before it exits your eye line on the other side, there's like a small grocery shop.
Okay, I'm going to go turn to Gil and just go, I'll be back in a minute, one sec. And I will begin walking quite fast paced towards the grocery store, please.
Okay.
I would like to inspect the horse.
You are as yet not within the walls of the thing. You guys have gathered. This
I
is
thought
the
we
main
did.
door here.
Yeah.
This is
As
the
I've
main door here.
said,
You're
Gil, the horse
I
walks
would
off
like to inspect
towards the green. Wow.
The horse sticks its tongue out of you and then says, "No one will ever believe you." No, you guys are. You've gotten a look at this sort of interior garden bit, but there is an 8-foot wall surrounding the entire garden, which you have not yet traversed through.
I mean, having watched, has anyone made it through yet? Because I assume Marcus and Emil have gone to the door, so we can just.
They've gone to this door here.
Yeah, the outer gates.
The outer gate is currently where these Castilians are waiting outside, and they are speaking to a small mouth with a button below it here.
Yeah. Okay.
Or attempting to speak to it.
Right. Okay. Sorry. I thought it was the door within. Yeah. Okay. So I will wait to inspect the horse. That's fine.
Okay. Fine.
I will just make sure that an Argent Star badge is up, seeing as Jax has one on, and just make sure that's there, and then just sort of look mildly busy.
Okay. So just to clarify, anyone who's using their tail to make a badge, you are not connected to the communication network at that point.
So I think it's just me and Arthur that are still connected.
Currently, yes.
I'm going to just stroll, not like, purposely, just dander off towards this way.
Okay.
And I'm looking to round this corner. And if I'm not stopped by the Castellies or anything, I'm going to just fly and peek over the wall.
Okay, sure. Let me get a stealth check first. They're not paying too much attention, but you're still trying to avoid being seen. Oh no, the music's.
Stealth. Okay, that's good. That's a 19.
19. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely managed to do that without being seen by these guys. What you step into is very much sort of like an alleyway towards the bin area. There is some garden plant cuttings which haven't been picked up in this area. It's a little bit damp and a little bit shady. You step into the alleyway a little bit and hop up to peek over the wall. Let me get a perception check from you, please.
I'm particularly looking for a button, or a handle or something from the other side of the door that might open the door.
Okay.
That was an 11.
11. From this angle, you do scoot a little bit further in. You think you see something on the other side, but it could just be a plaque. It could be the other side of the intercom. It could be a switch. There's something adorning this wall here. But you can't make out exactly what it is. Sorry, this bit here. But you can't make out exactly what it is.
I will make my way back to the group.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
So as I get to the grocery store, I'm going to walk in. We don't have to role play this, but I'm going to essentially go in and ask them for a medium-sized box, empty, as long as they've got some tape just to kind of seal it. And then I'm going to get the box, walk back to the house, and cast Disguise Self on myself to make myself look like a courier.
Okay, nicely done. Let me get a persuasion check from you. Just for your interaction within the grocers, just to get a box, or if you want to buy something that requires a box, we can do that, and it will just cost you a bit.
It's a 19 on the die, brother.
You got a 19?
Yeah, 26.
26. Okay, yeah. They quite happily hand them over. In fact, they've got quite a few spare. They give you sort of like one of those crate things and some boxed edges to put in the side.
Yep.
That helps.
I immediately make a beeline back to the house. As I kind of walk out the grocery, I kind of wave my hand over my face, cast Disguise Self. I want to kind of make myself a little bit ragged. Obviously no bandana, nothing like that. Similar stature, but obviously disguised so that there's no sword or armor or anything like that. Just a white cotton shirt with a sort of little tunic on,
Okay.
belt, and kind of a satchel to my side with a few like papers and what look like letters hanging out of it. And I'm going to carry the box. I've got like a cap on, but the cap's kind of like off to one side a little bit. And I'm just going to make a beeline for the front door, like where the Custiliers are, and kind of
It's
go.
working for DoorDash.
Oh yeah. Press the buzzer.
Move out of the way a minute, mate, and they sort of go to move you guys out of the way. Oh, sorry, mate. What's your business?
Well, I have a parcel for a W. Barabas.
I told you, there's no
Sorry,
further.
courier, sir. I have a parcel here for a W. Barabas. Needs signing for, unfortunately. Fragile, it says here.
I'm sorry, a delivery? Did you say?
That's right. Yeah, delivery parcel. Oh, I need a signature. I could leave it here, but insurance job. You know, if it goes missing, we're not going to be held liable. I've had that happen a few times.
One moment. You step back and you see above the arch of this front gate what at first just looked like a stone orb rolls to reveal an eye that looks down on you and then rolls back.
Yep.
And there's a few moments and you guys sort of take in this look of this delivery guy. Let me have let's say Jax, because you're the one. Oh no, sorry, it was Marcus who pushed the doorbell last, wasn't it? So Marcus, let me have you make an insight check, please.
Oh god, seriously. Well, that's a 3.
3. Okay. Well, Marcus you're not too convinced. That this is Arturus. You think this is just a delivery guy that's turned up. But after a few moments, the door, you hear like a, and the door begins to open. And standing on the other side, you see a finely dressed Aarakocra individual.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I'm sorry, you said you had a package. We're not expecting anything.
Well, I would love to say that I have posted this myself, but I haven't. But I need a signature from a W. Barabas. Thank you.
Unfortunately, the master of the house is indisposed currently. He's not able to make this signature. I could take it for you. I am his head butler.
You got some identification, mate, to prove that you reside within this residence? If not, it's going to cause a problem. Now, this has to be delivered today. It's a before 12 p.m. deadline. There's obviously been a higher fee paid for an earlier delivery.
It's about 2 p.m. right now, but that's fine.
I don't care. So, look, you just grab some identification. If I, can identify you, you can sign for the package and I'll be on my way. All right?
Give me a deception check, please.
Sure. That's not bad. The 15 on the die. Plus 4, 19.
Nice.
19.
I'm charismatic, baby.
Marcus is just staring at this dude.
And who is at this point? He sort of go on.
As he begins to talk, I'm going to step through the gate and just kind of go. So yeah, all I need is a signature, and begin to kind of step and kind of half step so that the box begins to get in his personal space to hopefully push him back. I want to get to the point where I'm out of sight of the Custiliaries.
Okay. You begin to do that, and as you do, he kind of shuffles back a little bit, and the door opens a little bit more because he was sort of looking through a jar at the time. But the door swings open a little bit more, and at that point, he spots the rest of you. I'm sorry, but you'll have. Who are the rest of you?
Oh,
at that point, you manage to sort of get within that boundary.
Am I out of sight of the individuals?
You think so? As much as
just while this is going on and the door is open more, with as sort of sly a hand as possible standing sort of within the groups of everyone, I'm going to summon my telepathic mage hand, which, because I'm telekinetic, can be invisible, and I just want to place it against the door to try and keep it in place with my mind, so he can't actually push it closed anymore. And just hold it there with telekinetic force while this is all going on, just in case he tries to slam it again.
Okay, cool. You do, and he begins. Arthur, are you continuing to make your way into the property?
I just a few. I want to essentially.
Show me what you're doing.
I want to.
So you push him aside a little bit.
A little bit, and I want to get to about here, so that there's this door in between me and these individuals, so that they can't see him, can't see me.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say you managed to get to that point, but Abroth is clearly all becoming quite agitated by you barging through.
Okay. Hold on.
But his frustration at you barging through then gets distracted by seeing all these other people outside who he thought was just a couple of Castilians. It's like, I'm sorry, what's going on here? I'm sorry, you can't go in there. Starting to get quite agitated now.
Mm-hmm. You should probably chase after him in case he goes towards the door.
Wait there, sir. You're at that point now, Arturius, where you are sort of obscured at least by this wall, but commotion is beginning to draw a bit more of the Castilian's attention.
I am going to kind of go, well, this is quite heavy. I'm just going to leave it on the doorstep. Make it easy for you to carry it inside once I get that signature. It's part of the service. I try to go the extra mile for every customer that I deliver to. And I just kind of like meander over towards the door, not like aggressively, but just meander over to the door. And I'm waiting for his attention to kind of like, I want him to kind of disarm from me. I'm trying to be very natural with this and kind of go over to the door until he kind of disarms himself a little bit from me. Okay.
Well, there is a given that you've entered the property, he is sort of very much kind of torn between. He was very much following you to try and get you to stop from barging your way in, but then having noticed this other gaggle of people outside, there are a few moments where he's sort of deciding what to do. You don't get the impression that he's just going to forget about you and let you put something down at all. He seems quite focused on stopping you going in, but there is a few moments, no more, that he is distracted by other people being outside and sort of looks away from you.
I'm essentially trying to buy the rest of the party time to do whatever they want to do.
Okay, so you kind of want him to follow you.
Essentially, disarm a little bit, but kind of like give the others chance and be distracting but natural with it, essentially. To give
that's fine. Well, he sort of notices. He's like, I'll be with you in a moment. Well, I'm sorry. Please, I'll take it here. And he just begins to turn and follow you towards the door, leaving the door ajar.
I'm going in.
As he walks away towards the disguised Uber driver Marcus, who's delivering what is obviously delicious food in the midday, using telepathic speech as a bonus action, I'm going to look towards the old Aarakocra and just from the doorway, just sort of not in any sort of aggressive manner, just sort of like standing very almost properly, like trying to sort of embody what this is meant to be. He just, look, we're here on behalf of a friend of the man who was missing from this building. The Regent is worried, and we are his people.
He sort of turns and takes you in.
This is telepathic, by the way, so no one can hear this. This is all mentally.
That's correct. He sort of turns to look at you and then turns back to look at Arturius. And just one sharp head movement to enter.
And as he does that, Gil will just sort of looks at them and goes, "There we go," and just very quietly walks through the gates and in, following with this Aarakocra inside.
Okay. Who's going in next?
I'm already in.
Marcus is already in. Jackson, who's going in next?
I'm going to hold back, and I'm just going to mutter something to the Castilians before once everyone's gone in.
Okay, as Lumi goes in, you turn to mutter something to the Castilias, and they are getting ready to follow you guys in. They have taken notice that you guys are going in, and they're seeing this as their...
No.
Oh,
But see, we kind of got entry from that. You need to still sort your own out. But I'll give you something, okay? Here's a couple gold. Listen, I know they don't pay you enough. Trust me, I know.
they look at each other.
Just go. You're gonna be waiting a while. Let
I
us
prefer your partner.
The situation. We'll let you know what time it's likely going to be that you'll actually be able to get in there. Otherwise, you'll just be waiting around.
Sure you will.
All right.
Oh.
I don't think you know who my parents are.
Well, they're criminals.
No, they're the Westwoods. And I walk in.
Fuck's that? I don't fucking know.
The time. Do you know who I am? They don't actually know who she. Who do you
that's
is?
fine.
Yeah. Don't you know who I am? No. All right.
No.
Yeah, like Jax hates playing that card, so the fact that they don't know, he doesn't care. He just listens to it and chat.
Okay.
I think they make cards better.
As Abroth guides summons you in, he sort of turns back to you, Arturius. Yeah, yes, very well. You can leave it there. Now, please be on your way.
Oh, I would, except I'm with them.
What is this?
Don't be alarmed.
Arthur?
Don't be alarmed, but I would get, I'd get that gate shut sooner rather than later, and let's go inside and talk.
With Gil's telepathic hand still on the door, he's just going to close it as Jax walks in from a distance, and yeah, close it.
Okay. And it does shut behind Jax as he enters. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're talking about.
I kind of put my finger up and just go, after you.
Let me get a persuasion check from you, please.
Oh, that's not as good. That was a 5. Plus 7 is 12. Not bad.
Listen, I don't want any trouble.
Good. We were hoping for that response. So, if you wouldn't mind, I've had a rather taxing day.
First, tell me who you are.
Fine. You can call me Coriolanus.
I don't mean you specifically. I mean you all.
Ah, that's not something we go around shouting about. You understand, of course.
Your master was a very secretive individual, and we are also part of secretive organizations, so things need to be said behind walls, behind doors, you know, where the ears can't get to you.
And as you would probably know, as secretive individuals, my master is one such. And when he tells me not to entertain guests in his absence, I must take that with the utmost importance.
Right,
Now
Abroth,
tell me who you
all
are,
due-
or
all
I
due-
will tell you nothing.
While this
with all
exchange
due
is
respect,
happening,
we
while
don't
this
have time.
exchange is happening, Lumiel is going to message Artorius and just say, I can put him to sleep if you want me to, if this makes it easier.
I kind of shoot a look to Lumiel and kind of shake my head. Can I respond telepathically?
Once, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
once.
message, so.
Let's leave that until we have no other choice left. But I admire the kind of quick thinking.
Abroth continues with his rant. If I don't know who you are, you say you're friends of the king? What business has the king with the master of the house? He's told me not to entertain guests until his return.
Unfortunately, being that we are here on royal service, we are not at liberty to discuss that in public. That doesn't mean that the information will not be given forthwith, but please let us into the property, and we will answer any and all questions that you have in the hopes that you will respect us enough to answer our questions.
Listen, even just the foyer at this point, we just need a closed door.
Our contact is very concerned for your master.
Make a persuasion check with advantage, one of you. I'll let you pick.
Okay.
What's my man whipping?
13 plus 7, 20. Second roll was a 4, so good.
He folds his arm, his sort of winged arms in front of him, and steps sort of round you, Arturius, towards the door, and then opens it and steps aside. Quickly.
Thank you.
Sorry. Fucking hell.
You didn't mean to do that. It's hay fever.
It's okay. It's that season. I have it as well.
I'm allergic to horse
can you
statues.
imagine Aarakocra having hay fever?
Yeah. Gil will just quickly sidle inside.
Okay. You guys head inside to a sort of foyer dining room. Ooh, not what I'm going to do. And Abroth follows you in. Well, very well. As you can see, I spoke no mistruths. The master of the house is not present. Any questioning you'll do to him, if you have a message, I'd be happy to pass it on.
Wonderful. So we already know that he's not present.
He hasn't been present since yesterday morning, has he?
Who are you people?
We'll get to that. So, we are quite concerned for your master's safety.
No reason to be concerned.
Oh, and why is that?
Just a quick aside. Gil is going to stand directly behind the Aarakocra as he is addressing everyone else, and expending 2 sorcery points to use psionic sorcery. I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts on him without using verbal, semantic, or any other kind of component, so it just happens. So I'm going to start reading the surface level thoughts of him as he is being interrogated by everyone else, and just keeping to the back of his eye line, just sort of walking, being not, obvious about things.
Okay. The immediate surface thoughts as the conversation begins is very much confusion. What has old man Barbazan got himself into now? You do not detect that he is trying to hide any mistruths that he knows much. Something you do catch flickering around during the conversation is they can't be from the Order. Who are they? This is not who I was expecting. But the conversation continues outside of the mindscape.
I must assure you, we mean no ill will to yourself or...
I mean no ill will at all, but I fail to see why it is a matter of the crown when one man does not come home one evening.
Well, and as I say that, I pull this end chair out and sit down at the table and kind of like lean back into the chair and go, well, a man of such importance with connections in all the places your master has.
Excuse me. The artist you hear just in his mind. Important? That old fool, not for years.
Okay.
We have some reason to believe that your master is in some sort of trouble.
And what reasons would those be?
I'm not at liberty to discuss those, unfortunately. I appreciate that
I'm
you
his
are...
head butler. I'm the head of his staff.
Where did he tell
His
you
well-being
was
is just as important to you as it is to me.
Not for the same reasons. I understand that you have care for your master, but this is an investigation that, as you can see, has warranted the call of 5 individuals. We are highly trained, highly skilled, and incredibly effective at what we do.
There's a creak from a door behind you, Arturius. Oh, have we got guests, love? As a little maid pops out from the... I'm sorry, we weren't aware we'd be having any scheduled arrivals. Ethel, please. I can make some tea and crumpets if you'd like.
Tea and crumpets sound great.
Oh, I've not had a crumpet in ages. That'd be lovely.
I'll be 5 minutes, loves, don't worry.
There is...
Stand up straight. You see Barbara, who's now sort of rubbing his chin, looking at you guys. He puts his hands back behind his back. And she wanders back into the kitchen.
Did you just do a Freudian slip there,
Yeah.
Chris?
You said
was
Barbara
it
instead of...
Oh, sorry, Abroth.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure we'll be...
A lot of
correct
names.
notes.
That seems like quite a lot for Ethel there to carry. Would one of you mind giving her a...
I'll go give her a hand, no worries.
Sure. So as we were saying, we have reason to believe, without even giving him chance to object, we have reason to believe that the master of this house is in trouble. Now, you said that he was last seen when?
He was last seen yesterday.
Wonderful, yesterday. And I kind of take out a notebook and a quill and go, I could probably remember yesterday, and put it back.
He left the manor in the morning after his breakfast, and it's somewhat unlike him to not return home of an evening, but a man's pursuits are a man's own business.
And does he often
Do you
go
know
out
where
and...
he was going? Sorry.
No, go.
Do you know where he was heading when he left the house?
You'll have to check his diary, but unfortunately that is in his office. I cannot give you access to his personal effects without the appropriate warrants.
Oh, of course. Appropriate warrants. So, have you ever had much dealings with the Regent's undercover service?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. You
butler.
don't know what you're talking about. So, how about we skip around all this needing of warrants? Give us the key to the office. We'll check his diary, and you can be rest assured that your master will be in safe hands and back to his rightful place. Hopefully within the next 24 hours. Like I said, we're highly trained, highly skilled, and very effective at what we do.
I'd like an intimidation check from you, please.
Could I
Not bad.
administer sagacity to myself to give myself an intelligence buff?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you going to just do this openly in the middle of the room?
I'm gonna
Shoot up in the foyer?
I can turn towards my side.
Really
and just
effective at what we do.
Shooting up in the foyer.
stick it in my side.
Okay, yeah. So you sort of stepped away to the side behind him. I'll allow you. Do a sleight of hand just for me, just to make sure you don't fumble.
Lumiel is concede that he's trying to intimidate. Can I try to give him bardic inspiration?
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's just leaning against that little dresser or statue or whatever. It's a statue, and she's just like almost like absent-mindedly playing her little pan flute. Just like she's just trying to pass it off as absent-mindedly playing a little ditty. And I'm trying to give him bardic inspiration for that intimidation check.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. You can have inspiration on that.
Okay, so that's an additional d6, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So that is a total of 25. I got a 13 on the dice, plus 7 for a dirty 20, plus 5 for the bardic.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Abroth sort of stands to attention. He seems insulted by your suggestions that, you guys have, there were some insinuations that you made there, and he picked up on them and he's not happy about them. But his eyes do seem quite alarmed. One eyebrow cocks up a little bit with concern.
Okay,
Listen,
so
if I could let you in the study, I would, but I have not the key.
Locked doors aren't really a problem for us, but look, I'm sorry, we're wasting our time.
I must object.
That's absolutely fine. We're wasting our time here, guys. Should we wrap it up? This individual quite clearly isn't interested in us doing our job.
Please do. Please leave as soon as possible.
Wonderful. Please ensure that when writing the invitations to the funeral, that you send ours directly to the palace, because we would love to be there. When and if you arrange those.
Jax.
I kind of just do a little call and response knock on the and like peek my head in.
Oh, hello, love.
Hi, I was just thinking there's quite a few of us. Whether you need a hand.
Oh, I should be all right.
I'll give you a hand anyway. How long
You
have
seen
you
how
worked
many-
here?
Oh, I've worked for Barbizon for many years.
Did you know his wife?
Aye, I did, love. I was just a girl back then.
I know. I mean, you're just a girl now.
Oh, aren't you lovely?
I'm just saying what I'm seeing.
How
Listen,
do you know about his wife? That were many years ago.
I know. I didn't want to tell the others I'm a bit of a fan of his work. Kind of know
Oh,
a bit
the
about-
books.
Yeah, the books.
Digby Dungeon, is it?
Oh, it wasn't that one. It was. I mean, Digby Dungeon is obviously a classic, but it's a
I
bit
prefer
more.
his older
His older
works.
books are better. Yeah, I was kind of raised on them, you know. Kind of, I grew up around here, so
Oh,
just-
it's a bit of sharp tone for a young un. You must have
Well-
very liberal parents.
not exactly.
The opposite.
Just kind of like coming in and just like starting like messing around, getting some like cups out. If you see,
Yeah,
some-
she's currently just like spreading butter on some crumpets and placing them under a small fire, just a small fire oven.
I know he's stopped going out, you know, recently to press events and stuff to do with his books. I've heard that he's become a bit of a shut-in. I just want to make sure that he's okay if he's gone out for. And hasn't
Oh.
been coming back. You worried?
Well, of course I am, love. He doesn't go out much, you're right. Old Waldron, he prefers the security and sanctuary of his study. But, I don't know, maybe he's been craving company. I swear sometimes I walk in the room and he doesn't even know I'm there. But,
Did he mutter anything? Say anything about where he was heading yesterday?
I wish he would speak to me a bit more, love, but I'm just the maid and the cook. He asks me for his breakfast.
You're just the maid and the cook. You're the person who provides him sustenance every day. I'd say that's a pretty integral part of
Oh,
his.
clam yourself up. Flattery won't get you that far, love.
I'm just again.
I'm fine with my job.
you
I
find-
enjoy serving Waldron. He's a nice host. If a little bit short on his words, but he's appreciative. And he's not a bad-looking fella as well.
The dude's like Stone Age. What the fuck?
So she. Have you seen the token?
Yeah, this is an old woman.
Yeah, but I thought she was human.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, dude's a gnome. He's like 200
Experience, isn't it?
years.
He's a man of experience.
Just kind of like finishing up with some of the tea and pouring some.
Your friends out there look a bit surly. What brings you to the manor?
I was just kind of hopping on for any excuse to, try and meet, one of my heroes and stuff like that. But
Oh, you're from the papers, are you?
wait,
Your friends? Your friends from the papers?
oh no, it's just political business and stuff. You don't want to get involved in that.
Politics?
I know.
You'll be lucky to keep Aldrin's here for more than 5 minutes with all that nonsense. He doesn't care anymore.
No, lost interest.
No, not since he left the Argent Star.
That's new
That one.
information.
That were almost 10 years ago now.
10 years. Well, listen. Let me help you take these in, and if you think of anything that you want us to know about him, you just let me know. Yeah, we're just trying to find him and make sure he's safe.
Make a persuasion check for me, please.
Come on. Okay, 14.
Okay. Thank you, love. I'll, if you want to take these out, She passes you a silver platter of crumpets, nicely buttered and toasted. And I'll be right out with your tea.
Okay.
You walk back into the room to witness Arthur telling this Aarakocra basically to go fuck himself, and that his employer is probably going to be dead soon. I do not appreciate this. If this is how the Crown's agents behave, then I shall have to make a report.
Oh, don't worry, we'll be
This
making
is very
reports tomorrow.
unbecoming of the palace.
Well, you know, people fall from higher heights, so... Look, we're just here to do a job. Now, where were you at the time of the disappearance of the...
Your connection to his mind begins to pick up some suspicion.
Okay. You know when he talked about the region and all that kind of stuff, did anything in his mind sort of hint that he genuinely doesn't know what we're talking about, or is there what sort of happened between that interaction there? Like,
make me an insight check, because you're getting his thoughts. There's nothing immediately in his thoughts which suggest recognition, but just in the sort of flurry of thoughts. 15. On the sort of flashes of response from his mind to some of these mentions, nothing appears to suggest he is in any way aware of who you guys are or Waldron's involvement with your society. He seems to be assuming that you are members of the Crown Service, but that is now coming under some scrutiny and suspicion given the way you've behaved so far.
As the suspicion starts to flare, Artemis will kind of step to a chair, place his hands awkwardly on it, trying to lean, realize he can't quite, and then come back to dance. Look, we're sorry for the kind of atmosphere we've created so far. We're just trying to figure out and create a paper trail of where he may have gone, because there are people genuinely looking for him. Now, in the past couple of days, in the last week, month, has he expressed concerns, worries? Has he seemed off in any way more than normal? Can you think of things that gave you unsure feelings about him, like he might be worried or scared about something? Was he acting differently? Just odd little things that wouldn't normally be there.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Could I start?
He is in the process of kicking you guys out.
I don't want to have to hold person this guy, but I will if I must.
There it is.
Persuasion, did you say?
Yeah.
Cool. With disadvantage. Okay, with disadvantage, that is a 14.
14. Well, I shall note your concerns, and once Waldron returns, ask that he report to the palace, and assure you that nothing is untoward.
And if he doesn't return?
Then I shall contact his attorneys about his last will and testament.
Well, that seems a little bit, cocksure. Do you not want him to return?
Waldron is an old man. His years of adventure are behind us, but I have every confidence that he's fine. I'm sure of it.
Inside check.
Make me an insight check.
17? No, 17.
There was a pause of doubt.
When he made that sort of sputtery outburst, did anything flash across his mind, sort of moments, anything, like just anything small that I could hook into? Gil could hook into?
He was kind of as he was saying it, was reassuring himself that it's true, indicating that there's a chance that he's not.
Yeah.
He's choosing to believe and choosing to say that he will be, possibly under some instruction to do so.
As this exchange between Artemis and Abroth is happening, I kind of stand up, walk to Lumiel, kind of put a hand on your back and kind of as if to kind of guide you towards the front door, kind of lean and just, well, not lean in, but kind of go, right, okay, well, we need to get word to our superiors about what's happening here. Whisper, get the book. Walk to the front door, open the front door, pretend to push her out, and as I do, and I'm going to cast invisibility, grab and pull her back and shut the door.
Okay.
So Lumiel is now invisible for an hour, and I will concentrate on that.
Okay.
I am immediately going to send him a message. What book?
The diary that's in his office.
Oh, yes.
It's a
yes,
locked
yes,
door. Just be as quiet as you can. As soon as you get it on your personage, it will disappear as well and become invisible, and then you just need to find a way out. But you have an hour.
Okay.
Go.
So I see the door to the kitchen, and I see the door here.
There's a door here, and there's a door here.
Does either one of them look particularly studious?
Studious?
The door itself has a book in its hand, and it's. I'm joking.
Make a perception check for me.
Or studious door.
Yeah. Jax, when you entered the room, have you just been sort of standing there
I'm
with
just
the
standing
tray?
there all
of
cooking with crumpets right now.
Okay, fine.
Just like, are we not? Does anybody want a crumpet?
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
sorry. Tea and crumpets, absolutely. And I'll kind of sit back down at the
Please
table.
take them to go.
I'll sit down at the
Lumiel?
table.
I got a 22.
22. The doors are exactly the same. They are the same door. But as you were coming in, you looked through this window here,
Yeah.
and it just appeared to be some kind of lounge. You definitely saw a sofa in there and a coffee table, but you didn't catch the whole room. Through this window here, you saw a corridor with several doors, and through this window here, you saw a desk.
Well, then I'm just going to sort of make myself quiet and small and just wait in this corner
Okay.
until people leave.
Okay, so Arturius, you sit back down at the table, yeah?
I do, yeah.
I must insist.
Look.
There are Castilias outside. It'd be quite simple for me to have you removed. He steps over to the front door and hovers his hand over a button with an ear.
Look, I appreciate that this hasn't gone as well as it possibly could have done. I've just sent one of our agents to go and get our commanding officer, who will be able to give you more information. He has a higher rank than us. He will be able to tell you who we are, why we're here, and also a little bit more detail of this case than we're able to give. Now, I wouldn't like to insult Ethel, who's just been, and Enid, whatever her name is, who has just spent time, energy, and efforts on this crumpet and this tea. We won't be long. Our commanding officer is around a 10-minute walk away. By the time we have finished this and they return, they will be able to shed a bit more light on this than us.
Ethel walks out into the room with a large tray. I've got cups here. There's sugar in the pot and milk in the small jug there. Is everything okay? Make me a persuasion check.
While this distraction's going on, can I, test the handle of this door?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very subtly. Does it give?
The handle turns slowly. Does appear to be unlocked.
Is there a keyhole in this door?
Yes.
Can I see through to the other side of it?
Make me a perception check.
Who would live in a house like this?
It's an 18. I rolled an 11, but I've got a +7, so an 18.
I also rolled an 18, so...
Stand up.
Yeah. Finish it quickly and then wait outside. When your commanding officer arrives, I shall have much to report. If you are who you say you are.
Absolutely. And I kind of turn and pull the tail off my ear, and kind of, as if I'm rubbing my hands before getting the crumpet, and I will change it into a Crown Service badge.
Okay, sleight of hand for me, please. Abroth walks, Abroth, that's a Pokemon, walks towards
No,
and
it's not.
sort of
Abra.
Arbok is a Pokemon, isn't it?
Arbok is.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Whatever. Arbok, Abrok, same thing. He begins to walk towards Ethel as Ethel is sort of moving around you, Jax. There you go. And he sort of places a hand on her shoulder and whispers something into her ear.
What did he say?
You sort of heard him thinking to himself, God, this bloody woman and her hospitality. It seems as if he's gone over there to tell her to stop offering you guys snacks.
It was only a 12 on the sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Oh, wait. His passive. 12. There's like a moment where he sort of looks over at you. He didn't see what you did, but he saw you doing something.
Okay.
So you're not, but he caught you sort of caught his eye glance over to you as you moved.
I will.
Suspicion seems to have increased again.
Fucking hell, guys! Someone else distract. Someone else do it. I'm fucking this up.
I got 21.
21. You see, on the other side of this door is another door.
I can see the
Directly
corridor,
opposite it. Huh?
but I can see the corridor.
There is a corridor. Yeah, there appears to be about 5 foot worth of 5 foot wide corridor, and then a door on the other side.
Then I misty step.
You will
The
lose
outside
invisibility.
Would I
You
want
won't
Misty
cast a
Step?
spell.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hold on.
Face step, right?
Hold on.
Is it
Yeah.
Misty Step or Face step?
No, it's Fey
Misty.
Ancestry.
Yeah, it doesn't even attack.
Misty
It's
Step.
cast a spell, so yeah, you lose it.
To you.
I don't know if she would know that.
She's a spellcaster.
Yeah.
Up to you.
Oh. She's gonna do it anyway.
Okay. Whoosh. You bamf to the other side of the door. And you are in a corridor. You see there is a door to your north, a door to your east, another door further down the corridor to your east, a door out into the courtyard here, and then another door at the end. All very
so
similar
you're
looking
going-
doors.
She would notice herself become visible again, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fuck. Okay. She's going to speed up and she's going to try the door in front of her.
Can you indicate which one you mean?
Oh, not the small room. The room to her right.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. You go to turn the door handle. The door opens. It is not locked. And inside, you see a bedroom.
Immediately, quietly close it.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
And oh, damn it. Oh no, that's not bad. It's +9 as well, so that's 18 plus 9. 18 plus 9.
Yeah, more than enough. That's fine. So yeah, you poke your head in. This appears to be maybe a servant's quarter or something like that. It's not very, plush.
Right. So she's going to make her way down and try this door.
Okay.
Again, she's trying to be as stealthy and as quiet as possible, but she's moving as fast as she can.
This door appears to be locked.
Okay. With that, she is. Do I have? She is a rogue, so I should have. Yeah, I do. I am going to try and pick the lock.
Okay. So give me a thieves' tools check, please.
Okay, this is the first time I've done this. Oh, it's not bad.
Meanwhile, the rest of you are happily eating tea and crumpets. The pissed off
Could
Arbok
I-
with his arms crossed, just watching you all.
19.
19. Okay. The lock opens. You push the door open, and it appears to be another bedroom.
Hold on, did you? Out of curiosity, didn't you say to Lumiel before that Lumiel saw where this office was?
You said you saw a desk through this window here.
Okay. I just wanted to. I didn't know if you'd heard. What
Cover all the
Chris said.
bases. Cover all the bases. This one has a small writing desk on it. The sheets are a lot more sort of much better, well-made sheets. There's a small shelf with lots of books on it.
I am looking for a study, so she is going to immediately close that door again as
Okay.
quietly as possible. and
Stealth
then
check,
make her way
please.
Make her way to the final door.
Okay, so give me a stealth
Oh,
check
that
and
was
then
a
a thieves.
nat 20 plus
Okay,
9, so
Okay, and then a thieves' tools check on the last door, please.
okay. So 2? Yes. 19.
19. You begin to chuckle away at the door for a while, and then you begin to wiggle it a bit more. Doesn't appear to be going anywhere. You are unable to unlock the door.
Can I suddenly having a thought occur to me that he is a secretive man? Can I check the door for runes? I'm trying to do an arcana sort of. I want to
Okay.
see if this is magically locked or warded, if it's going to sound an alarm.
Okay, give me an investigation check, please.
Okay. Investigation. Okay, not as great. That is a 14.
14. You inspect the door to see why this attempt did not appear to be successful. You're not able to discern any mechanism or anything like that, but under a bit more scrutiny and investigation, this is just a very intricate lock. Very well made, very secure. But there's nothing magic about it that you can tell. No runes, no additional mechanisms anywhere else around the door.
Can I see through is there a keyhole I can see through?
Yes. You can have a little butcher's through that. Give me a perception check.
I'll do it. That's an 18 plus 6, so it's 24.
You peer into the room. You're able to get enough of an angle to see that. Can you see that? Has that worked? No? Well, that's frustrating, isn't it? Let's just delete this then. Fine. You see that you can see sort of along this line here. So you can see there's a lot of bookshelves behind a desk. On the desk is various pieces of parchment, various tomes, a small lantern. It's quite messy on the desk. Not thrown, but disorganized. But you don't see any individuals in the room or anything like that.
I'm going to use my Misty Step to get into the room.
Okay. You enter the room. I need to come off the fog layer because I keep moving my fog around. Okay, yeah, you step into the room and you see, as before, there is also on this side a cork board with various things written on it.
Ooh, okay.
Let me get just an investigation check from you while you look at this room.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's gone.
See if you can pick out any important details.
To get another dice. Okay, that's investigation. 6, so 7. 13.
13. Okay. You see on this thing here various what seem like intricate clues and things like that. Let me get a history check from you, please. There's very much like pieces of string going to various places, almost like very similar to what you guys have been doing with your own case boards back at the Last Chance Saloon.
12 plus 3, so 13. No,
13.
15.
15. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's important. But after looking down a few of these clues, you recognize some of the locations and some of the names to be characters and places from the Detective Digby Dungeon series. This appears to be the next book in the series under development.
Okay, so we're kind of containing a squeal at this possible, like, spoilers, clues.
Yeah.
She's gonna note down as much, well, in her head, she's gonna note down as much information as she can remember before moving on to the desk. But if you want to move on to someone else.
As you are sort of looking at those things and trying to find, there's one thing that feels a little bit out of place as you're looking through these things, and I've sent that to you on Discord. The rest of you. You guys doing?
Going back
Sipping
to my
your
sleight of
teas.
hand check for about 20 minutes ago. I
Yeah,
rolled an 18. So after taking the sagacity to up my intelligence, could I have been walking around the room for a bit and just look at the room for any signs of a struggle, items that seems to have been moved around? Like, you know how sun marks, for example, like if you have a furniture somewhere, the sun usually sort of taints the wall.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like an indication that anything's been moved, basically.
Yeah.
Sure. Give me an investigation check, please. Any of you guys? Are you guys doing anything?
I think I'm just having a bit of a natter with Ethel over some tea and hastily scoffing a crumpet, really hyper aware of the tension and that I want to be out of this place as soon as possible.
Yeah, Abroth is marching backwards and forwards up the back of the table, waiting for you guys to finish your crumpets and get the hell out. So he's just kind of marching up and down this area here.
Gil is very deliberately, without seeming it deliberately, leaning against the wall where the button to the outside is, just creating a physical human barrier between that button and him, but also just keeping a steady track of his thoughts, seeing if anything changes, anything comes up, just anything that might lead to another line of questioning that might reveal some stuff. Just keeping it, keeping the mindscape open as well.
Cool. Yeah, and most of what you're getting from him now is frustration and suspicion.
Abroth, sorry, I know I was helping Ethel with the tea. Lovely tea, by the way, Ethel. Just a quick question. I saw when we were outside the orb thing. Were you able to get an eye on the delivery guy? What is that? Does that store any imagery, anything like that? Can that be accessed at all times? Is that just a surveillance protocol? What is that?
It's personal safety. The master of the house installed it to make sure that unwanted knockers were seen off before they gained entry to the property. Unfortunately, it does not appear to have worked as well as he'd hoped.
Yeah, nobody wants unwanted knockers.
Under my breath, I'm just going to whisper, and all it took was a box.
So it doesn't store, or it's just kind of an in the moment, you get to see who's outside the gate.
If you'd like me to call the Castilias in here, I could give you a demonstration.
I was simply asking a question and making conversation. Apologies.
Well, we don't have time for that now, do we? You have to get off to your commanding officer so that I may make a report.
You summoned them, did you? I turned to Arthur.
Yeah, I sent one of ours. Should be here soon. Just apologies. And please do take this as a sincere apology. We appreciate that obviously you have a duty to your master and the sanctity of this residence. We are only here because, well, a report was given. I'm not at liberty to say as to who gave the report, but a report reached our superiors that there may be some unsavory reason as to why your master hasn't returned. We're simply here trying to put the pieces of that puzzle together, track his last movements over the last 24 hours, as my colleague here asked if there is any suspicious behaviours that may have come about over the last few days that could have caused anything. Now, my other colleague has asked questions about if this device that you have as recording, just to ensure that if there is any suspicious knockers that have come over the last few days, we might be able to chase down some leads and ensure that your master is returned to you quickly and safely. Now, I apologize. I've had...
Right, pause there. Artemis, at this point, you hear, perhaps these were the ones he meant. I shouldn't have let them in here. I'm sorry, Waldron.
As he hears this in his mind, using telepathic speech, he's going to look to Arthur and just quickly, to try not interrupt the flow of conversation too much, just in your mind, Arthur, you'll hear, he thinks he may have let in the wrong people. We need to be the right ones. Apparently there's some people that shouldn't have been let in.
So, as I'm sure you can appreciate, I take safety very seriously, and you are extremely vigilant, having that device above the gate, and I will commend you on your attempts to ensure that nobody gained entry into this property. You should continue to do that. I want to ensure you...
Cornelius, I require no commendation from you. Master of the house has assured me that there is nothing to worry about in his absence, and to keep appearances calm, to not let anyone in.
So,
if guests are to call, I'm to turn them away.
And is that an instruction he gives often?
Well, he doesn't often leave, but I shan't be answering any more of your questions. Please finish your crumpets and tea, and wait outside until your commanding officer arrives.
That wasn't nat 20, by the way, DM.
Sorry?
That wasn't nat 20, by the way.
Nat 20 what?
On the investigation.
Oh, the investigation, yes. Sorry, correct. Fine, sorry. I got carried away. You have to stop me because I will go off on tangents. Nat 20, you look around this room and everything seems in its place. Everything seems undisturbed. Everything seems almost regimented in its tidiness and its appropriateness. Everything is where it needs to be. Even the knives and forks on the tables are positioned at straight angles. Nothing seems untoward. With your deepest investigation, which you are very skilled at, you know what to look out for when there's been a scuffle, when there's been any kind of intrusion. There are no signs of that here. And there is dust where you would think there would be dust, though not much of it. It's kept fairly clean, but nothing's been like deep cleaned.
Yeah.
That would suggest the cover-up of a crime scene. You are absolutely confident that no scuffle has taken place in the room that you're in, or anywhere else that you've seen of this property so far. Lumiel, I'm going to come back to you.
Yep.
So you sort of take these notes down.
Yeah, so I don't actually have a quill or a pen, but I presume there's one on the desk.
Yeah. In fact, give me an investigation check while you're going on the desk.
24.
24. Okay. You look around the desk, you're looking for a quill. There is a quill on top of the desk, on top of a piece of parchment, but you can't find an inkwell. So you begin trying to look for drawers around. You open a couple of drawers, and you hear kind of a strange from one of the drawers as you open it.
Okay.
You've been in certain situations before where people try to hide things in places. You know exactly where to look, and you reach under and you find the catch of a secret drawer within this writing desk. But it is locked.
Oh. Can I see how it's locked? Is it got a keyhole or...
It's a very small keyhole on the side of the drawer.
Having a quick look at the rest of the desk, can I see... I'm looking for a key.
Okay. With a 20, even with a 24, you cannot find a key. There is no key present. You even scan the rest of the room. You cannot find any kind of key. So if you're going to get in, you're going to have to do it some other way. Okay, sure. Give me another Feastals check.
a 16.
16. Okay. You've placed one of your thieves' tools in. You begin to jimmy it. You realise that this one's a little bit too big. You flip to another pick and start to... And it opens. And a flap from the top of where the drawer goes in folds down, and a small letter or a small piece of paper slides down. And it says on it, door code 2311.
Can I see another door in this room?
Nope.
Okay. Okay.
You search the rest of the desk as well. You start running your hand on some of the other drawers to see if there are any other hidden compartments or anything like that. You rolled a 24. This is it. This is a secret drawer, and all is it is a piece of paper that says door code 2311.
I take that piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And I still didn't find an inkwell.
Yes, you do find an inkwell as well in one of the other drawers as you were searching. Also, in one of the lower drawers on the desk, you do find what looks like a diary or a sort of a calendar thing. You pick out a few things that have happened over the last few days, and I'll send those to you on Discord now.
So I am taking the quill from the desk, and I'm jotting this down on the reverse side of the letter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not taking the book.
Okay.
I'm taking all the information down as quickly as I can. Also, what I found on the board, I'm also writing that down.
Okay, fine.
With a quick look towards the bookshelves, I'm going to... First, can I look at the floor to see if there's any, evidence that any of these swing out, or, there's any secret, so if there's any, scratching or anything?
Okay. I'm going to use the 24 investigation you got earlier. No. You thoroughly sort of start scammering around this room. You can't find any hidden latches, any trapdoors, anything like that, magical or otherwise.
With that, I am going to go to the window to see if I can... Does it open?
The window? Which one?
Yeah.
This one here?
The one down beside, yes.
From the inside, yes, there is a latch that you can open the window from.
I am going to open the window and climb out.
Okay. You hop out of the window, and you are in the courtyard.
I'm going to close the window again behind me.
Good shout. Cool. Okay.
Oh, I didn't say, but just in case it wasn't obvious, I was closing the drawers as I was opening them and
That's fine.
stuff. Right.
Yeah, okay. So you set everything back to look as if it was undisturbed.
As much as I can, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well done. Okay. With that, with a little bit of evidence gained on Lumiel's part and you guys trying to ease out the tension before you get forcibly removed from the foyer, we're going to go for a little break. It's going to be a short one because I want to get back to this as quickly as we can. So please come back and join us in about 10 minutes when this infiltration kind of investigation ruse continues to play out and where this is going to lead to. Thank you for joining us so far. We'll be back very soon. Please stick around for part 2. See you in a bit.
Bye.
Aerilon, Sins of the Peacekeeper unfolds in the expansive metropolis of Valvaris. It's the crown jewel of Aerilon. Some might consider the capital city of the wider Aerilon, and it's often referred to as the oldest city. Valvaris has grown significantly and exponentially over the previous centuries, expanding far beyond its original walled boundaries. Unlike typical Dungeons and Dragons city settings, which often sort of focus on a singular or just a couple of themes, like Waterdeep being a bastion of trade and opportunity, or Candlekeep being, a fortress of scholarly pursuits. Valvaris is a diverse metropolis where one can discover a myriad of experiences, pursuits and creeds across its many districts and boroughs, each almost like a city within the city itself. Due to its immense size, significance, diversity of population, range of industries, Valvaris requires a multifaceted approach to law enforcement and national security. Various law enforcement and military entities work collaboratively, or sometimes in opposition with one another, to maintain order and safety for the city and its millions of inhabitants. The members of our party each come from one of these peacekeeping organisations, each forcibly reassigned, shall we say, from their original roles to a clandestine division that prioritises autonomy and plausible deniability in their pursuit of justice and Valvarian security. When I first came to the group with Aerilon, Sins of the Peacekeeper, one of the main things I wanted to get across was that I wanted them to start out, at least, with characters who are deeply flawed. You know, they're in this position for a reason, and I don't think anyone's quite taken that idea and run with it quite as much as Dan has with Artorias.
So you want to know who Artorias is? Well, it's easy, really. He is the strong but silent type. He is a man of honor, but he is deeply flawed. I'm being given the opportunity to be a player again for a long-term campaign, and it's given me the opportunity to explore some very human elements and very human flaws, and that will come to the surface through Artorias.
When approaching a paladin character, it can be very easy to sort of fall into one of two lanes, be it the hero of justice or the scorned, oathbreaker type out for revenge, whereas Artorias has some elements of both of those, but he is also fighting a much more personal war, aside from the spiritual side of his character.
He is a man of action, but will not act unless there is due cause. He's all about justice, really, as well. Like, he wants to ensure that people are treated fairly, people are treated right, but if you're a wrong'un, he'll put the sword to you, without a second thought.
Yeah, what can be said about Jax? I don't want to give too many spoilers away. He's not so much standoffish, more kind of reserved. He's not going to be the first person in the room to say something, but he's also not afraid to speak up for what he believes in. Well, his values are super important. He is a single father of 2 cats living in the Grand Market. He's got a bit of a grungy little apartment with kind of tinkering tables around, various pulleys and mechanisms that break so frequently. Think Rodney from Robots in terms of loving to tinker, but things explode a lot.
There's another aspect to his character, which is that of legacy. He comes from a family who have served Valvaris for generations.
Yeah, I feel like that might come up.
But he has been kind of thrust into the realization that society does come with a very, very human cost.
I think if he were to have a motto, it would probably leech on the back of the War Divers motto as they descend from the skies into battle of down to death.
So the War Divers are what you might consider the Spec Ops branch of the Valvarian March.
But for him, it's down to death of the system. Anarchy, baby!
Marcus, I would describe as more than meets the eye. Marcus is not to be underestimated.
Marcus is a really interesting one because, he is a very capable person, both on the battlefield and in his investigations.
He might be built like, the stereotypical jock, but he is definitely more clever than you think. That sort of brings up the question, what came first, the brains or the brawn?
He's less trying to redeem himself for past mistakes, and more trying to navigate his way through the consequences of decisions he made, which at the time seemed like good decisions to make.
Is his reason for being there his fault? That's debatable, maybe.
But actually have much farther reaching consequences both for himself and the people around him and the city of Valvaris than he may have initially realised.
Marcus has a few skeletons in his closet. Usually you go in and you're like, okay, I'm an adventurer. This time around, I have no idea. And that's gonna be insane, and it's scary, but it's also really, really exciting.
Tell you about Lumielle. Well, she loves to be overestimated, and not in the way you might think. So she can be in a room where conversations are happening, where people don't think she really knows what's going on, but she is taking it all in.
Lumielle is definitely going to be the wild card in the party, as Natalie often tends to do.
She's great with details, and she has a long memory. So if you say something or do something that doesn't sit right with her, you can bet your ass that she knows exactly what you said.
They are certainly in this position by their own doing. There is very little manipulation from bureaucrats and higher forces that have gotten Lumielle to where she is. She's a bit of a mischief maker.
More forgive rather than forget. She loves to give people nicknames. She is very friendly and outgoing and personable. She can actually put up with a lot of gruffness before it would bother her. She also knows when to step back.
It's going to be really, really fun to see Lumielle kind of deal with some of the more stoic members of the party and how that is going to clash slightly maybe, but it's going to be an interesting ride for sure.
So I don't know how that's going to fit with the party. We have some interesting names going on so far. She's very aware of her surroundings, so she can fit into most situations comfortably.
Who is Artemis J. Stringfield? He is a character that fundamentally struggles to find a place in the world that seems to struggle to find a place for him.
Artemis is a bit of an enigma. He's figuring some stuff out, both about himself and about the world and its nature, of the nature of being and personality and all these different aspects that make people who they are.
He is different on a number of levels. He has a power that very few others have and could open the world up to him in so many different ways if he really put his mind to it, but he refuses to because he knows the more he does that, the more he will drive away the people he wants to help, wants to be around. He, on a deep level, wants to be accepted, wants to find friends and a place for himself in the world and to help and to be helpful and do good in whatever way he can. He is full of idiosyncrasies, he is strange, he is a wild intellect and a huge imagination. The two often combine to create all kinds of theories and conspiracies.
I sort of see Artemis almost like the sort of Fox Mulder allegory. He's very much in tune with the other side and constantly curious about what else is out there beyond the veil and beyond what the mind allows us to see.
It's going to be interesting and it's going to be fun to be probably the strangest character in a group of very serious, very hardened detectives by the sounds of it, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I like to be strange.
And welcome back to part 2 of this week's episode of Aerilon Sins of the Peacekeeper. We're going to hop straight back in because things might be about to get quite interesting. Lumielle has escaped from Waldron's Barazan's study, having found some interesting documentation and clues and texts. What would you like to do, Lumiel?
So you can take the invisible off. I am no longer invisible.
That's true.
I'm going to come up to the front door and knock.
Okay. You knock on the door, and as Abroth, fucking hell.
There you go.
God, that was a weird brain fart that just happened there. I think I had a stroke. As Abroth sort of is in mid kind of hurrying you guys along, he hears the knock on the door. He said, "Oh, what now?" And he storms back towards the door, kind of like stopping in front of you, Gil, as he reaches you, and you're just standing by the doorbell, and then kind of awkwardly steps round you towards the door and opens it.
Quick question. As he
Yes.
does that, is Ethel still like at the other side looking?
Ethel has just come and stood in the corner of the room, basically, and
Okay.
is just waiting for you guys to be finished, so that she can take your plates away.
Right.
But she's just standing there, smiling, waiting for you, just kind of folding a tea towel. Did you want to do something, or?
No, not if she's keeping a watch on us.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, she is for now. She's not necessarily keeping an eye on you. She's just kind of more waiting for you guys to be finished rather than inspecting you. The door opens. Lumiel and Abroth's beak comes out. Oh, you. Where is your superior officer?
He said that he would be writing up those documents so he can come with another team. We are to leave now.
Oh, finally, someone in your squadron is making some bloody sense. You hear that, the rest of you? I think you've finished your crumpets. Time to go.
Okay, well, we'll go, but just... You sure you've said everything you need to say? Are you absolutely positive you don't have anything else you need to tell us before we leave?
Make an intimidation check, please.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, Jax is kind of collecting the plates and just stacking them, and just kind of like turns to Ethel and goes, "Absolutely amazing! I really thank you for this." Yeah. I just kind of.
Are there
Makes it
still a
exit.
couple of crumpets on the tray?
Yes.
Okay, I'll grab two.
They're half eaten. Oh, no, yeah, they're fresh
I'll
ones.
grab
yeah,
two. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Grab it. Please add 2 crumpets to your inventory.
Oh, they'll be gone soon. I'm giving them to the fucking custodians.
Intimidation check.
21.
21. He says to you, "Yes. I would like to remind you that impersonating an officer of the crown is a most grievous offense. So I shall hope that when I speak to your superior officer at the palace, they will confirm what you have told me. Otherwise, I shall be reporting all of your descriptions."
In his head, as his eyes now lock into the Aarakocras, he is going to hear through telepathic speech, "I really don't think you have the kind of sway you think you do. Now, I really wanted to be nice about this, but I've been tracking your thoughts pretty much consistently since we started talking. Unless you want me to break your head open and find out what I need to, you're really gonna have to start playing ball with me here. We're trying to do a mission, and we're trying to find out your boss's well-being. Now, you don't really seem to care, and that bothers me, so I ask you again," and completely silently, he'll just lean deep into the Aarakocra. "Are you sure there's nothing else you need to tell us?"
This is all in his head, yeah?
This is all telepathic speech. He's essentially locked eyes with this guy, and you can see like a small amount of sonic energy around his hair, but he's essentially just saying that into his mind.
He says back to you in your mind,
Mhm.
"I don't know whether you're Crown Service or one of the agents of the Order of the Bow Tie, but I will not be intimidated. You should know that by now.
Order the bow tie in his head. That's interesting. Okay, we can work with that. It's all we needed. You really don't have to be this defensive, you know. But I will say this, if our images get out, if anyone comes looking for us or knows, I will know it's you, because you just told me, and I will have every ounce of power and strength I have behind me, which is a surprising amount, come down on you, and you won't see anything ever again. Okay?
The master of this house has friends too.
And one of them is ours. See you soon. And he's just gonna bow. Thanks for the crumpets and the tea. It was lovely, Ethel. And you really need to, just be a bit more
Slaps your hand
gracious to
away
your
as you begin correcting his...
Oh, so fastidious. Okay. Let's go, guys. I think we're done here. And he's just gonna stride out the door.
He, just as soon as you leave the door, he steps. You guys all make your exit into the courtyard, and he slams the door behind you.
Keeping close to the door, I just want to try and get what little I can get from his current thoughts as he is walking away, close by. Just what is going on after that exchange.
It's much like the thoughts that he was having when you guys first entered and began introducing yourself as Crown Service and saying that Waldron is potentially in danger. He's confused, and he's wondering what the hell Waldron has got himself into, and that he's not getting paid enough for this, basically. But he's not having any like, oh, thank God they're gone, I can finally think about this or anything like that. You got very much a sense from him that while he is remaining tight-lipped, it's mostly out of having just no idea what's going on and following what the master of the house has told him to do. He doesn't appear to have knowledge of anything that's going on.
And also not having...
Very relieved to have you here, but now also, as you move away, you feel the concern for Waldron start to swell up.
Okay, cool. If anyone sort of viewed that small amount of interaction he had with Aberoth before he left the house, he's like, oh, that was fun. I've not done that in a while.
And you do feel that his presence moves away from the door further into
yeah, that's fine, as it sort of dissipates. Cool. Well, he's not waiting for us. I can't feel him anymore. What are we doing?
Yeah, we should leave.
Oh my god. Still can't hear you.
That's the second time today. I am not with it. I apologize. I can't remember what I was saying now. Never mind, ignore me.
As I approach the door and I see that panel, is it a release?
It's a pull down release to open the door, yeah.
I do so.
As you're stepping away, give me a history check, please.
Okay, not bad. History plus 3, 21.
Okay, 21. You look, just as you're passing at some of the statues, you notice this statue here is reminiscent of, it's a white horse, and it reminds you of the titular white horse in one of Waldron Barbazan's novels, the head of the pale horse, one of his best sellers.
Makes me smile.
So I assume we're all walking out of this place?
Yeah, I've released the latch. Just before, as they're going out of the gate, can I... There's no one else in this courtyard, so I'm just going to have a little look around this statue, like, to see if there's anything. If there's anything not fountain.
Okay. Yeah, make an investigation check for me. Anyone else doing anything?
Getting out as soon as possible. I'm just leaving.
Okay.
going up to the Castiliers with the two crumpets.
Okay, nice. What did you get?
Yeah.
Emil? Sorry,
24.
we'll get to that. 24. You investigate the statue of the horse. There does not appear to be any mechanism attached to the horse, but you do pick up along the base around here are some runic symbols.
Okay.
What languages do you know?
Oh fuck, that's a question. Hold on.
I knew that
I
statue was
know Common, Elvish, and these can't.
Common Elvish. Yep, no, you do not recognize this language.
Okay. As they pass, I'm going to ask anyone, do they have a quill? Because I did not take it.
No, you didn't.
I just kind of like pass one back.
And on that same piece of paper, I jot down to the best that I can do the runes. And
Okay,
then I
fine.
exit.
Okay, cool. You guys leave. Marcus, you head up to the two Castiliers who sort of take you guys in as you walk out the door. Any luck? Made it further than we did.
No, he's pissy.
I fucking told you, didn't I?
Ethel's wonderful though. The maid. She actually, well, she wanted to give us these ones, but I thought it's better that you guys have them.
Oh,
We'll be waiting here for a while, so.
well, you did promise sandwiches, but this is a close second. No, I appreciate that.
Oh, no worries.
Have a word with your partner, by the way. They're a bit less accommodating than you are.
Yeah, they're new to this.
Also, just if the old buzzard does try and leave, maybe just tell him he shouldn't for the time being. There's danger about, and we wouldn't want him wandering his way into things he shouldn't be in search of his master. He seems concerned, but he's not quite,
Oh, you mean the Aarakocra or Waldron himself?
Oh, the Aarakocra. If he tries to come out of the house, just tell him, stay here. Don't let him leave. It's, I
mean, sure, I'll pass on the message, but we're just here to bring in Waldron. Did you see him in there, by the way?
No, unfortunately not.
Maybe the bloody old coot gets out of bed or whatever he's doing sooner or later, because I've got a wife to get back to.
All right, well, just pass on that message to whoever takes over from you and so on, and just, let it be known the people inside need to be kept inside.
All right, well, good luck at the Argent Tower.
Thank you, boys.
Thanks. See you guys around, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Leading.
You guys begin walking away from the manor?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys doing next?
Where the fuck did we park the bike?
I assume I put it in an alley nearby.
Yeah, you
Out
guys.
of sight. Kind
As we
of
get to
as
said
everyone
alley.
groups together. You can't hear me, right?
Yeah.
I did check this time. Just kind of- right. Point number 1. We need to get better at that. Because that was a mess. Okay. Number 2. What have we learned? I've learned that he used to be in the Argent Star until about 10 years ago. Marcus, I don't know if you know anything about that.
Yeah. I
Yep.
knew that.
And
That's already known information. Cool. He's definitely missing.
definitely missing. We've established he is
Definitely
missing.
missing.
So, no, let me go. Go.
Okay, I have some information. She pulls out that letter. So he's writing a new Digby book. Very excited about that.
So
it
the
looks
writer
like-
is writing, but also missing. Okay.
There was this weird passage though that doesn't really fit the book. Let me scroll up and find it. There we
It's
go.
just paper. Just move your eyes up the page.
I'm also going to put it in the Discord for you guys.
Oh, that'd be useful.
Upon my ghostly glow, the weary ride to realms unknown where secrets hide. Speak my name, it. Hold on. She looks around to make sure that no one can overhear us.
Make a perception check.
That was nat 20.
Nat 20. You don't see any people around you in this alleyway. There are a few people walking around. You do see a squirrel up on top of a fence, just looking down at you guys.
A fireball it. Familiar.
The thing it immolates.
So where was I? Speak my name. It is which. Sorry. It is that which speaks without a mouth and hears without ears. That has no body, but comes alive with the wind. That is like really not like Detective Digby at all. So I don't think that has anything to do with the book.
What is Detective Digby? Sorry, you keep saying this name. Is he important?
No, well, he was very important to me growing up, but it's a book. It's fiction. It's the thing he writes. I also found out, and she turns it over. She goes, he had this in a secret drawer. Door code 2311. I didn't see an extra door, but that might be important. And from the diary, I didn't think we should take it just in case the butler checks that, and then oh no, it's gone. So I wrote down what he had like recently and what he's got to do soon. So he's got a book signing, but apparently he wants to cancel that. And yesterday he was supposed to be at the Sky Siren, and it just says Grouse, Grosse.
Okay.
Do I know of the Sky Siren? Is that like a tavern or a club or?
Yeah, the Sky Siren is everyone knows about it. It's like the Royal Albert Hall of Valvaris. It is a massive theatre which floats about half a mile above Valvaris on a large sort of what are those things called? Like the Hindenburg. What was that thing called? Yeah. It's like a very large Zeppelin with almost like a round wooden Colosseum theatre, like a roundhouse theatre that hangs from it. And it's the port for the Sky Siren Theatre has its own port which transitions guests up and down, is in Highcrest.
Okay. So, yeah, that's all I could find. I mean, I have thoughts towards that passage, but I mean, I don't really know.
Fine.
Well, my initial thought with yesterday's entry, he was meant to meet up with the Regent, right? Check in, at least. That could have been, I don't know, we can check with the Regent whether that is the location they'd clandestinely, is that the right word? Meet in?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Just eliminate that possibility.
Well, the old guy really doesn't know anything. He's mostly annoyed, confused, and upset by all of us. But towards the end there, I pushed him for as much as I could, sort of, in his mind. He didn't give up much, but he did say that he was concerned about some Order of the Bowtie coming around to do something. So that could be a lead into one of these gangs. I'm not quite sure, but that's all I really got from him. He was worried we might be them, so I don't know what they do.
Is that anything I've ever heard of?
Give me a history check, please.
I was about to ask the same, like, especially since how I read all those, like, gang lists and stuff.
Lumiel, I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Jax, you can also give me a history check, please.
Hey, natural 20.
Yay!
Actual 20.
Yeah.
Okay, Marcus, what did you get? 27 from you. Okay. So
You said
Lumiel.
history, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Lumiel.
Hmm.
First, I'm going to come to you because a few sessions ago, during the downtime week, you said that you were going to hang around Varvaden, listen out for rumors and gossip and things like that. This Order of the Bowtie piques an interest to you because you remember, you know that Varvaden is known somewhat disparagingly by the upper echelons of Highcrest as the servants' quarters or the servants' quarter, because it's where a lot of house staff of Highcrest live, because it's quite close to Highcrest, but it's very low rent sort of thing. So that's where a lot of the staff of Highcrest tend to gather. You overheard a conversation which made very little sense to you at the time, and you kind of brushed it off. But in this moment, it piques it, having heard it from Gil. Jax, you also peak on this name because growing up, one of the staff in your household, the head butler, told you a story, having gotten you tickets to a performance at the Sky Siren, that not to worry, the Order look out for each other. And you said, what order? And he flicked his bow tie on his butler's uniform. Marcus, similarly, your house. You remember in your early investigations, rifling through your butler's journal, being a bit mischievous as a child, and he was expressing upset, having not been accepted into the Order of the Bowtie. This appears to be a network, having all of you having this realization, appears to be a network of servants who communicate for the betterment, the protection, and sometimes the foiling of their employers. A guild, if you will, of head servers and butlers around the various high families and noble families of Valvaris. And you all sort of simultaneously come to this realization through different, some in more detail. So Jax, I'd say Jax and Marcus, you probably have a bit more detail on what it actually is, whereas Lumiel, you've just sort of heard the name being mentioned by someone who clearly works up in Highcrest.
Okay.
I hate how this makes me sound, but my butler growing up,
Rich.
was part of. I seem to remember say he said like, we got tickets to a show at the Sky Siren and said, "Don't worry, the Order looks out for each other." And then flicked his bow tie.
It's funny because mine never got in. I managed to rifle through his notes one day. Apparently it's something you can apply for, but they have to accept you. And he wrote in his journals that he was upset about not getting in.
A secret society of butlers.
Essentially,
Okay.
yeah.
So you all came from money then, huh? Like you're all rich.
I'm not rich. I did not have a butler, and she eyes both of you.
No, but you have a corgi.
That's
I
a
do.
pretty posh pet.
Yeah, I think one of the queens
Could
had
also
one.
be a
somewhere.
rat, so I mean.
I heard they had two.
Anyway, so are we heading back to the house, or should we go to the
I don't
Sky Siren, or?
Is that a place you can just go to? I don't think you can just
Oh,
turn up at the door and go, "Hey, can we see an opera?" or whatever it
can
does
any
there.
of
I
you
don't know.
read this? As she she shows you all the note that she wrote down from the
Horse
fountain.
statue.
Don't know, can we?
What languages do you know? Go.
Oh
shit.
God.
Minion.
Abyssal.
Elfish.
Does anyone? I'll make it easy. Does anyone know Gnomish?
No.
No. No one here is
Okay. Oh, okay. That was on the statue. I mean, it might just be. It might just be the artist's signature. I don't know. I don't read that language, whatever it is.
Will might know,
But maybe
so-
someone back at the house will.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, what's his face? What's his name?
Mel?
Yes. Maybe he will know. Sorry,
Please tell me that was in character.
it wasn't. That was Natalie. Yeah. Maybe he'll know. But
Wow.
I don't know.
Lumiel, you've still got your tail in, right?
I do.
Okay, cool. Oh wait, no, never mind. Doesn't matter.
We have a tap device that can send us information.
It's something that's being developed.
Oh, he didn't give it to us. Right. I forgot. Right.
Thinking on the code, and it says, and with it saying code to door, just sort of rifling through his thoughts of what he knows of sort of doors and their importance to things. Is there anything sort of that would roughly sort of spark an interest within that from sort of a background with what Gil has done?
Make an intelligence check for me.
Cool. Intelligence.
Or make it intelligence arcana.
Intelligence Arcana, okay.
Yeah.
11.
There, in this world, while it may be a very familiar thing to us as humans living on planet Earth, like keypad doors aren't a thing.
No.
So it's very odd. Like usually if there's a password to a door or something like that, it's a spoken password, which is often a word or a few words or a sentence. It seems odd that someone would have you say a series of numbers to open the door, and the concept of like a keypad door isn't really a thing. It could be like a dial. The way it's written doesn't seem like it's a door number.
No.
So it's not like the identifier of a specific door. It seems to be some way of accessing somewhere or a door or something like that. But it doesn't resonate with you as with anything you've ever done before or anything you know of.
Okay.
He's a long shot. Nah, it couldn't be that. I was thinking if the door code is a word, if the numbers are actually letters.
In what language, though?
I don't know.
And what word? Because if it was, what is it? 2, 3, 1, 1. It would be like CBAA if it was common.
Yeah, I'm thinking bell, like a doorbell.
Well, maybe we should just ask the regent if he knows of anything his friend may have gone to or done. Like, he seemed pretty in tune with his life, at least in some degree. Maybe we just report back and see what he might know. We have some stuff. Either that or we gotta start talking to butlers.
Oh, that, I mean, we could do that. You can go and go home and talk to your butlers. Is that Jax's face? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you can look like that, Jax, but you do have a butler. It's just true.
I do not have a butler.
I mean,
Kind of have a bell.
Any-
my
Anymore.
proxy.
I was
Okay.
thinking about that passage. It doesn't entirely make sense to me, but I might.
Give me a history check, please, Lumiel.
Okay. What the fuck is my dice gone? For fuck's sake, I have to get a third one out.
The problem I have with like riddle type things is that because I'm me, I know a lot of riddle answers, and I'm like, would Jax know? No.
Just straight intelligence.
History.
History, sorry. That's +3, so that is a 17.
17. Something feels on the tip of your mind. You can't get the something jogged your memory about the statue of that horse. And you swear, you're like, God, what was its name in the book? What was the horse's name? It was one word. It was a short word. You can't quite remember what it was. And something feels like, especially the first sentence of this riddle, it just keeps bringing your mind back to that horse.
I knew
so
that horse was suspicious.
I mean, the first bit I will think on, but I'm pretty
Something
sure
that
it's got
begins
something
with
to do with...
something begins with an E, maybe.
Okay, so that does feed to what I thought the second bit was. I think the second bit is echo, which kind of makes sense. Does that remind me that that's the horse's name?
Bang on.
Okay, so yes, that was the horse's name in one of his, well, not the best books. It wasn't in the Digby books, but it was in the other books. Echo. That's
Right,
the name
and
of the
that's
horse
the
and-
speak my name. Would be we
Right.
would need to speak.
speaks
the
without
word
a mouth
echo.
and hears without ears. That's what I've got. I don't know what that means or what that
Yeah, I think you're
what
right
that does.
that it's echo, but the relevance of that to be determined. As with a lot of these things,
Maybe he's in a cave somewhere, really echoey.
maybe.
Maybe you need to shout for those.
Oh, I'm sorry, was that a stupid idea?
Don't know. I'll ask my butler.
Maybe it's like a code word. Like when you're in the order of the bow tie, you have to password to them. You say echo, or you have to repeat what they say back like an echo. I don't know. It's something to keep in mind. No.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Lumiel,
Yes.
you fancy flying over back to the horse statue and saying echo at the horse?
Sure. We're not that far away. I'm going to try and discreetly.
It's probably not going to do anything, but you
I'm
never
gonna
know.
go round. Like I'm making like a proper arc to try and avoid the custodians. So if I can come up like around this, so I'm not going in front. If I can come round to here, and then fly over.
Whoop. Make a stealth check for me, please.
In the meantime, I'm gonna put my tail in.
We're detectives.
Probably a good idea. Stealth check.
I'm an army guy.
I'm
Stealth
a
was an
mess.
11.
Stealth was an 11.
Last roll of the night. Nat 2.
Oh, 6.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, as they're enjoying their crumpets, they seem a little distracted, and you make your way over the fence and land.
But I catch my foot on the top of the wall, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure everyone's heard me, and I stop for a second.
You end up in a bush. As
Yep.
you raise from the bush, you've got a flower plant poking out of your ear, and a few sticks in your hair.
Cool.
Ignoring my disarray, I'm going to the statue. Echo?
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Statue turns to face you, and you hear echo back at you, and then it begins to lower into the floor.
I knew that horse statue was too good for this house.
I hit my tail. It moved, guys. It moved. It worked. Get back. Come back.
No.
As
There's
the
a hole.
as the base of the statue passes the level of the ground from the walls of this now circular well-like hole. A spiral staircase begins to emerge, leading down the hole.
The stairs downstairs.
Is my carpet big enough for 4 people?
Nope.
Oh, damn.
One-man carpet.
It's big enough for you.
I'm literally just going to run round the side of here and climb the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I'm just going to brute
But,
force
like,
this.
Yeah.
You guys begin to run round this corner and begin to scale the wall. Can I have athletics or acrobatics checks from whoever isn't flying on some kind of flying apparatus?
I'm not going to fly on my own. If not, it's everyone else's, and I'm just going to.
That's the only option you have. I'm not going to fly on my own. Fine, I'll take the fucking magic carpet back then.
13 for me.
13, you're able to hike over. 19,
I'm-
fine.
I'm gonna look to the wall as Arthur goes over and just ask him for a hand to try and help pull me over, so I'm not just flying a carpet over these people and then getting into the garden.
Okay.
I'm going to consciously pretend to struggle and kind of go, Jesus, as I'm lifting him quite easily
Such an
up
ass.
onto the wall.
You can make your check with advantage.
What check am I making?
Athletics or acrobatics to get over the wall.
Oh, they're both terrible. No, wait, one's better. Spice, slight amounts.
Space.
Spice.
Slight amounts.
Slight.
Dirty 20.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're able to go over. However, as you are the last one who makes it over, you do hear a "Hoi!" come from behind you as the Castiliers have seen you all start running towards. Oh, fuck's sake.
Revealing secrets.
Seen you all running towards, and you see them just crest round this corner as you guys jump over. Oi! And you guys are now all in this courtyard. You see this hole that has descended into the ground where this horse statue once was.
Okay, down the tunnel now.
Down into the unknown. Go.
Into the unknown.
Into the unknown.
Is this a water horse?
You all start running down this thing, and as you are running at great speed, when you get about, well, Lumiel, actually, no, you continue to run down the stairs fine, but whoever is whoever is next behind Lumiel, who I think was Arturius, because he just, oh no, Arturius upped over. We'll say it was Jax or Marcus. Who's it going to be?
Me. I'll
Okay.
volunteer.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
That's fine. I hope.
I mean, better you than me.
Yeah, you say that. 10.
10. You step on a step which seems to give way, and then all of the steps pivot 45 degrees and turn into a slide, and you all begin slipping down into the darkness.
Excellent.
Do they knock me down
Hey.
with them? Because I'm hovering, so I wouldn't be
They,
like
they do,
sliding.
but you're
They
still
catch
kind
me on
of
the way down.
shaking it
Yeah.
down, but they catch you on the way down. All of you begin thundering down into the darkness.
Could I
Everyone
please
pause for the
have said,
photo.
could I have said echo as I jumped down onto the slide thing to see if the horse statue...
Sure.
It probably didn't, but there you go.
No, you do that. That's fine. As you come to the end of this area,
Oh, new map.
you slide down into a about 15-foot corridor. And in front of you in that corridor is a large stone door.
Nope. Guys, that's enough
Damn.
for this week. We'll see you next...
God,
Where the slide ended, you see sitting at the bottom is the white horse statue, and as the last of you flies off the end of the slide, it begins to levitate back upwards, and following where it is, the slats of the staircase, which is now a slide, until eventually there's a, and you guys are in pitch black darkness.
I turn to Jax
Oh no!
and go, "Did you lock the bike?"
Nobody knows how to use it. We'll be fine.
I'm
Will you hear?
gonna bite my thumb, cast it on my hammer, clink it to the floor, and start burning it up.
Okay, fine.
Get us some
This
light.
illuminates this area, and you are standing in a relatively small, shallow corridor before this large stone double doors.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to find another way out. Should
Well,
I
that's
check
fine.
the door for traps?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I will go up to the door and I will check for traps.
Okay, make an investigation check for me, please.
Can I help out?
If you'd like. Do you want to each roll individually, or do you want to provide assistance?
What do you feel like?
Oh, this roll's not going to do it. Is what I feel like.
So do you want to roll again, or do you want to let him have a go?
I can roll again.
Okay.
Ah, that's much better. Right. So it was just investigation.
Yep.
Okay, that's a 21.
21. Okay, you're
Thank you.
searching around the area of this door, looking for pressure plates, looking for mechanisms, wires, anything like that. You do not find any traps connected to this door. However, you do notice that this wall to the side here does not appear to be flushly gritted with the rest of the wall. It seems there is a slight gap either side of that wall there. But the door appears to be not locked, just appears to be a stone door. Does not appear to be trapped or anything like that. So this main door is
Yeah.
completely fine, but then there's
This door
to be
seems
something
fine, but I don't know if any of you've noticed that it looks like there's something on that wall, like maybe another trap door. No, secret door.
I'll
It doesn't
go
quite
up
meet. If you
and-
can see the
and-
seam.
feel if there's like air coming through. The
Okay.
gaps.
Make me a perception check.
Right. That's a 6. No, 7.
7. There does not. You cannot feel any drafts coming from the other side.
Maybe say the numbers.
2, 3, 1, 1. Jack just says that out loud into the room.
No reaction.
Artemis is going to pull the goggles from around his neck, place them over his eyes, and he's got the big sort of steampunky goggles with the big swirls of them as you all sort of look towards him. He's got these big twirly eyes now. He's like, okay. There's the goggles of the night, by the way, so we now have dark vision, just so we're all aware that's a thing. Not go down here without it. Going to sort of the stone, just the big stone ones in front of us. So there's 2 sort of double doors, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Just placing an ear to sort of like the crack. Can I hear sound? Can I hear anything coming from the other side? Is there even just empty cave sounds? Or just can I hear something?
Make a perception check for me, please.
Will do.
Anyone else getting up to anything?
13 on the perception.
13 on the perception. You don't hear anything coming from the other side.
Okay.
You can't see through walls, can you, Arthur? By any chance?
No, I'm not that good.
I don't fucking know. You see everything, and at the same time you see nothing. So I don't know. Maybe you can see through.
No, I can't see through doors.
Worth a shot. Want to give this a little bit of a push, pointing towards the slightly smaller door with the gaps, or
Yeah.
wall with the gaps.
I would imagine that if it's a secret door, that there'll be a mechanism that will open the door once we figure out how it happens. I don't think it's something we can push open. We can try. I'll help him try and push this thing open.
Okay, you push it and it doesn't. With a simple push, it doesn't give way.
Mad. I can't believe it.
You would have
Unbelievable.
known.
Unbelievable.
You could try to force it, if you wish. but you push it as if it's a door and it doesn't move.
Okay,
I'll
I'm
see
going to
if
push
there's
the other
some
one.
loose things.
Push the other door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You push the other door, and it quite easily, as if on very the stone door betrays or makes it seem like this would be very heavy, but as you push it, it very easily just almost drifts open silently, and you see within a large room.
Oh, that's big.
To the north of the room, you see a very large plinth and a large stone circle
Figure it out.
upright facing you.
Stargate.
This room, the masonry, the build seems very old. The place is in good condition, almost with very little dust. But there is wear and tear to the tiles. They're very smooth, almost shiny, despite not being wet. Everything is very carefully masoned, but seems very old. Older than the construction of the manor above.
Sorry, you're putting big numbers everywhere for.
I'm just
Looking. So walking into this room and looking at the design of these things, looking at the big stone circle, is this flashing any alarm bells of stuff that I would have come across in the field before? Anything regarding to my job?
Give me a Arcana check.
Arcana. Oh, we like those. That is a 22.
Nice.
Okay. You begin to look around the room. This is fairly familiar to you, certain aspects of it. The masonry and everything like that, you recognize from some other underground pockets of ruins underneath the city. This seems like masonry of the old city before the great expansion of Valvaris. There are many pockets of old dungeons and old towers and old buildings underneath the city, and this is reminiscent of some of those. So you glean from that this is probably much more ancient architecture than the building above, and was more than likely discovered after that was constructed. Another thing you recognize from your time in the field is at each corner of the room, which was previously being wonderfully labeled by Dan, these fittings here, they each have a pinky purple, quite large and tall crystal in them. And you know these to be temporal crystals.
Okay.
They are used in the assistance of teleportation. Particularly the opening of portals.
Yeah.
You know about this because, as in your time in the Ministry of Seals, you were often sent to confiscate these and close these portals.
Okay.
Not all of them were always used for nefarious use, so it doesn't naturally suggest that whatever's behind the portal is bad, but that's what these are.
But my experience mostly is that they have been needing deactivation.
Well, they are not permitted under the law of Valvaris. Teleportation in Valvaris is strictly regulated and prohibited.
Okay. So yeah, as we open the door and sort of Art Gill sort of charges in, sort of looking around quite frantically at everything around, his big sort of glowing eyes shining mild light sort of around. He's like, oh, this is old architecture. This is before the expansion. This is something I would have been sent to shut down. These are temporal crystals. This is a teleportation room of some kind.
Do they look like they've been used?
Do they look like they've been used recently? If I made a check.
Yeah, give me another Arcana check, please. I should also note that at the east and south of this room, there are two similar stone doors to the one that you entered in.
Dirty 20 on that other Arcana check.
A20. So yeah, from your experience and that high check, you are able to see that these are fairly well used.
But do they look like they've had energy, like magic? Does it look like there's anything residual within them within the last day or so? Are they still sort of? Is that the kind of thing you can tell from crystals, or are they more just sort of static objects that you
only in the immediate afterwards
Yeah.
of them being used would you be able to see any residual things. But like, for example, as you walk over and you sort of begin investigating the mechanism that they're on, you see that these mechanisms, they kind of jiggle a little bit in like as if they turn. But when you try to turn them, they don't turn. But there's that kind of tiny little bit of give to them that they are able to rotate.
Can I go up and look at the main portal or the main sort of ring, see if there's any sort of inscription or...
Yeah, sure. Give me an investigation check.
Before everyone starts moving around too much, can Jax assess whether there are any existing or recent footprints in the dust? Because I would assume that in a hidden secret underground chamber, it's going to collect a lot of dust if people don't use it. So can I just kind of check the flooring for any signs of recent activity? Or
Absolutely. Can I get a survival check from you, please? What was your investigation, Marcus?
Can I give him? If I see Marcus going up that portal, can I go with him, sort of taking an interest in the same thing, and give him an advantage on that, just with my knowledge of things?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I can
roll again if you want to. If you don't, it's up to you.
Oh, that's much better. The first one was 7. The second one is natural 19 for 26.
Dope.
26. You investigate very thoroughly this stone circle, and you do notice there is no inscriptions on it apart from arcane runes, which with Gil you're able to determine are just simple runes for a portal spell, similar to Dimension Door, but one that can be activated without sort of the need of a caster. And the mechanism for doing that, there are these golden runs heading along the floor, along the sort of skirting of the wall, and each run, including these two that run down here as well, eventually go into one of these 4 crystal sconces.
So do you know how to operate one of these?
Yeah, I've never really... I've not. I would never have operated one personally. I would have just seen them sort of deactivated with the intention of dismantling, I assume.
Give me a intelligence check, and while you're doing that, Jax, what did you get? 23. Okay.
Let's check.
Whilst given that can you see in the dark? Have you got dark vision? Yeah. Okay. Fine. You do notice that there are a few sets of footprints, small humanoid footprints. They traverse across a lot of the time. And then there are ones that traverse from the portal to the way you came in. And there are ones that traverse from this door into the portal. So there are footprints that lead across this way. Then up here. And then like this. There are no footprints of the humanoid variety that go through the south door. However, there are also a great deal of markings in the dust, which appear recent, and the footprints almost look like arrowheads, or chicken feet, or something like that. Very small, barely maybe an inch or two wide and across. Most of them just 2-pronged, almost like a V.
The Aarakocra.
But very small. and there are many of them, and there appears to be no pattern to their movement. They have frantically moved around this room in all directions. Some of them leading up towards walls and then turning around. They're just scattered all over the place. Arthur, are you doing anything while everyone else is sort of undergoing these investigations?
If I'm going to follow Jax through into this, like that way.
Okay, Lumiel.
I am going, if they're investigating this door, I'm going to try and have a little look at this door and just give it a little push to see if it's as easy to open as the other door.
Seeing
Okay.
me, I'll go that way. Jax is just gonna call out, "Careful! I don't think Barzan typically went that way. Just be careful."
Okay. Should I stick with you then?
Do what you like. I'm just saying, be careful. I mean, the path he went was from the entryway to this door, from this door to where they are, from there out. That's the typical path he's taken. So, just be of note that don't think he's gone that way. Does anybody see any I don't know, baby chicks or anything? 'Cause I cannot figure out what these footprints are.
It's the door to the Easter realm.
No, I don't see anyone but us here.
Right, well, if you see any baby chicks behind that door, let me know.
Will do. Does the door give way?
It does. You
What
push
do I
it.
see? I'm doing it very slowly, noting how easy the other one was to open. So I'm doing it very slowly, and then I'm just going to peek my head in.
What's the
rather than
range?
fully open.
What's the range of your dark vision?
Oh, I don't have dark vision, I don't believe.
Then it is darkness, pitch black darkness.
Okay, if it is darkness, I am going to cast light on my clothes.
Sure. Your blouse or whatever you're wearing illuminates, and you step in, or are you still just peeking?
I am peeking.
Okay. You sort of get your shoulder out to illuminate the way ahead instead of just the wall off to the side. And all you sort of catch the edge of light is it 20 feet and then 20 feet dull light? It's like 20 feet bright light, 20 feet dim light, right? Or is it 30-30?
It's 2020.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's 2020.
I'm pretty sure it's 2020.
Yeah, it's 2020, yeah.
Yeah, so just at the edge of the dim light, you see the corridor carries on below you. I'll just get rid of this for now so that you can see. It carries on below you. Oh, no, maybe I won't. And
Nothing's happened.
yeah, no, I forgot to map this bit out. It carries on for about 30 feet and then opens up into a room not quite as large as the one you're in, and you just see the edge of it, what looks like a bunch of wooden boxes.
And 20 killer chicks.
But I can't... Can I hear, I'm now actively listening out for chickens.
Yeah,
so,
okay. Make a perception check for me.
Scratching, I don't know.
Incredible that was the bad guy of this.
Chicken, it's just the whole
17.
chicken little thing.
Horde of chickens.
It's the Kenku chicken horde.
17 plus 6. My math is
23.
math in today.
23. You look in, you do not hear any chickens or chicks. You do not hear a damn thing.
I put my head back out, so I'm
As
fully in the
you
room again.
begin to move back into the room, you swear you just hear like a almost like a very slight metallic scraping, like a slight whine, like almost like if you I'm trying to think of something that would do it. Like if you pull
Like a rusty gate.
yeah, like a very small rusty gate. Just went.
So as I
Getting weaker and weaker every time.
as I popped back into the room,
I'm gonna get a soundboard one of these days.
I was
Flash.
like, there's something down there. It made a noise. Maybe it sounded
Go kill it.
freaky.
While
Go close the gate.
While this investigation was happening, Jackson Arturius, are you guys heading through this door?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, cool. You get to another one. This is all fallen in. So there's a cave fall here. So there's just rubble here. So this passage is inaccessible.
Does it, investigating that rubble
Mhm.
and just kind of how the stonework has fallen, does it look like it's a natural type cave in? Does it look like it's some kind of explosion that's caused it?
Give me an investigation check.
I'm also going to walk up to where the rocks are and just kind of like
12.
put my foot on, like attempt to basically put my foot on one of the rocks to make sure it's not an illusion.
Okay, fine.
12.
12. You go up and you kick a rock. It is not an illusion. Jax, you're not able to determine much from this. To you, it looks just like a fairly standard structural failure. The way it's fallen in, you can't find any residue of like explosives or anything like that. No. From your earlier survival check, however, you do notice that the footprints, the small humanoid footprints you saw, go into this room and then turn left and stop at this wall here.
What is it? Can I hear anything through it?
Make a perception check.
Sorry, just making all the rolls. Oh no,
Kick
I
the
don't hear
door
anything.
in.
That's one.
Police, open up. Kick it in.
It's a one. I don't.
It's a 1, yeah, no, same as before. Nothing seems to be there. Oh wow, that's how you do that. What would you like to do?
Can I see if it will open?
You press on it and it doesn't move.
Is there a lock?
Which appears to be a wall.
Oh, it just appears to be a wall.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's another
Hmm.
wall that isn't actually a wall, but is a wall.
What?
The footprints are going to the wall, but the wall's not quite a wall, but it is a wall. It's not a door.
Well, then it's not a wall. There's something beyond the wall.
It's not a wall, then it's a door, but I can't figure out how to open the door.
Yeah,
You
well,
say
that's
door. Here it goes. Slides
Oh my
off.
god.
Figured it out.
Star Trek.
as soon as you say that, I kind of go, "You're a genius." I don't
know how I do it sometimes. I really don't. Oh,
Insane. Wait. And I begin to like run back to this one, and like as soon as I get here, I go door.
Door. It starts to lift up, and you see a corridor within.
Okay.
Do I
As I
hear them
see-
saying door and door from either side of the room?
Well, you see Arturius just run across the center of the room back out to where you. You don't hear them
As
saying
I
door.
see Arthur run the full length of the room, I'm like, there's something. Oh, okay.
I again go kill it, and just run past. And then as the door opens, I'll go, oh, Jax, you're a genius. This did the thing as well.
I'm so good. I've cracked this case right open. I don't know what to, but I've done something.
The missing person is missing, and the door opens the door. And you
Walls that are
immediately,
not walls are doors.
I immediately walk through.
I just stare at Gilly.
Is this what it's like talking to me?
Oh, no, surprisingly, you make more sense.
Arturius, you step into a room which just appears to have a few stacks on shelves of these similar purple crystals which you saw attached to the sconces within the room. A couple of them are broken, a couple of them look kind of dulled, as if they may be used.
Okay. Are there any like? Do I get a sense that any are giving off any arcane energy?
You see 2 or 3 that are dull, and 2 or 3, and like quite a few that are not.
Okay, I'll take 4 that are not.
Okay, cool. So they're quite large, so you sort of get them under your arms, and you start striding back out into the main room with these large purple crystals.
Yep, and I kind of go into the main room and go, Gilly, will these make things happen?
Okay, so you're just wandering around with
Well,
temporal
I think
crystals
I've found
under your
another thing
arm.
that might make things happen too.
Oh, okay, cool,
Oh.
on my way. And then Gilly just march across with these, seeing Gilly having this existential crisis, and go, okay, cool, and just immediately walk after Jax with these crystals like, whoop, whoop, whoop.
You step into this room here, and make me an investigation check, please.
Okie dokie. 15.
15. Okay, that's enough. You see this strange, almost like sort of magical fountain in the middle, which is sort of kind of seeping over, like, you know, those little smoke volcanoes that you get.
Yeah.
It's doing that, but from the top of it, like a sort of pink mist that's flowing into the well at the bottom.
Diffuser.
You see there are 2 levers here, and then 3 what look like almost like sundials. But they each have like an arrow. Well, this one up here has an arrow pointing to the left. This one has an arrow pointing upwards. These 2 you can't see any arrows on them.
So arrow pointing left and arrow pointing upwards.
Yeah, on this one there's an arrow pointing left. On this one there's an arrow pointing upwards.
There's nothing on those 2. Okay.
But there's nothing that you can see on the other 2.
You said that
knowing
was
that I'm
that way,
not,
right?
Yeah.
knowing that this is way out of my scope of understanding, Jax kind of goes, "Oh, cool. I don't know what they're for." To Arthur carrying all these big crystals, and kind of runs up, or kind of walks up and just goes, "Right. I don't know if." If this is like a portal, I assume there's things to set the portal and control it. I think I found the room with it in.
Yeah, it is a portal room, but portal is illegal in this city. It's very heavily regulated, both in and out. So if he's been doing this is a bigger problem than we thought.
I just shout from the other room, "We killed people in cold blood yesterday. Can we get this portal open?"
Oh, was that yesterday?
Oh, like a week ago or whatever it was.
No, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
No, it
was this morning.
Today.
Yeah, it was this morning.
Yeah.
I mean, this might be a wild. I mean, this might not be relevant at all, but the region.
No, it's just
that he meets with Barbizon fairly frequently. My thing is the 6th floor, as far as maybe the 6th floor, and this. I don't know.
I know.
It's a
I
good
get
meeting
it.
place.
I get what you're
I don't
saying.
know
But
if this is relevant, but there was a sound that came from down this goddamn corridor. It was being very goddamn loud. That could be someone down. I mean, I'm not going down there to kill it by myself. So, do we want to address this first before we do this? And you can see she is little and agitated.
All right,
what?
that's good. I'll walk
They're very
over
aggressive.
to him.
Down this door.
Massive portal, illegal, could be way worse.
It's not going anywhere. Whatever that sound is could kill us.
Right, Marcus, you go see
Yeah.
what the noise is.
Yeah,
I'll
you do the magic thing. I go kill.
Yeah, okay. We'll meet back in 5. Break team.
Artemis,
Hey.
these crystals are beginning to crack and are making a hissing noise.
You've taken them out of the stabilization chamber. Okay.
Chernobyl all over again.
Artemis.
That's me.
You head off to this room that Jax has identified, and you see, as I described before, there are 4 levers, 2 on each side of the room, and then these things here. Can I have you make an investigation check as well, please?
So I made one before.
Investigation or Arcana. It's up to you. Arcana. It's up to
Do
you.
you want me to use the last one I rolled or make a new one? Because I did one
New
when
one. New room, new roll.
Okay. Arcana is... okay, 17.
17. Okay, you're able to pick up everything that Jack's picked up with his 15 as well. You do notice, however, these things here,
Yep.
at the edge where the circle meets the wall, or the semicircle meets the wall, you notice that it's actually slightly recessed in. And
Okay.
as if what you're seeing is just part of what is, in its complete form, a disc.
Right, okay, so yeah,
Which
it's
is
her.
into the wall.
Okay, looking at the levers, there's no obvious sort of
has been touched.
identifier that would suggest that one is particularly attached to another one or anything like that. They are just 4 indiscriminate levers. One would the closest one to each disc would be the one that turns the one closest to it.
With that Arcana check, you're able to see that on the levers and on the discs as well, there are symbols which are like almost like an Arcana mathematical symbol.
Okay.
Some wizards often use to demark like the stages in which you do things. Basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they do demark like this one's number 1, this one's number 1, this one's number 2, this one's number 2, this one's number 3. So each lever seems to be connected to one of these discs.
Okay. So sort of as you watch him sort of come in with his big goggles and stare at everything and sort of look around and go, oh, okay, right. So generally speaking, if we pull these levers in succession, we should, if the code Lumiel found was correct, open it up to something. Now what that is, I don't know. Portal technology and teleportation of this level and design isn't allowed, and I usually dismantled these things as part of what I did. So I couldn't tell you what's on the other side. It could be fine. It could be dangerous. I don't know.
Let's find out. So 2, 3, 1, 1. Let's go.
Let's wait for the others.
Marcus, you head down into this room, into the darkness. Do you have dark vision?
I have my hammer, which is on fire.
I'm also glowing, so...
Yeah, so you illuminate enough light to make what is in this room a little bit more visible. This room is far dustier than the other room you were just in, and there does appear to be almost like what looks like a stockpile of a vast amount of discarded books, some supply barrels which seem to have been tipped over. There's moldy bread coming out of some of them. Let me get a perception check from you, please.
Which one?
One of you with advantage because you're there together.
Go for it.
Did the last one, you sure?
Yeah.
17 plus 6?
So another 23. You notice that these some of these boxes and some of these barrels, especially as you go further, as you start to look further back, and you almost do have to climb over some of the rubble to get to it. You don't do that yet, but you sort of start to see in some of the back layers, some of the boxes seem a lot more sort of intricate. There's maybe 5 or 6 of them, maybe more further back that you can't see, which seem to have like this strange brass lining along the corners and the edges. So every edge and corner of the box is almost like brass plated. And there's some kind of strange textures on the side of it. You look further back, you sort of see one which is almost like pyramidal as well, quite like tall pyramidal. There's these strange geometric boxes with brass plating on them further back into the room.
Right.
But you don't see any movement or anything that's threatening or anything like that.
Can't find the source of that sound.
Nothing seems to be moving. You don't hear the sound again. Could have been the door.
Can I walk up close and see if there's any insignia on any of the boxes?
Yeah, sure. So you want to start climbing over stuff, yeah? Okay. You start climbing over some of the other barrels and boxes and stuff like that. You get up close to one of these boxes which has the brass plating. Give me an investigation check, please.
Right. 24.
24. You begin to inspect them, and now that you're this close and you're inspecting them in quite fine detail, you notice that there are some parts of these boxes along the outside which seem... It's such a strange thing to take in, because they seem almost somewhat mechanical, maybe fibrous. Like the sides of the box are made of like a hard, almost cloth texture.
Right.
And there's some sort of protrusions from them which appear folded in. You don't see any markers on there from the one that you're looking at. but it's strange. It's difficult for me to describe even, because it's as if this box has like strange features to it, and it's not a wooden crate like you would expect, but it is just a box. It's a cube.
Does it look like? You said fiber. Is it like?
More like almost like leathery or papery.
Yeah.
The side panels of them.
Right. And there's no locks that I could see on them or anything.
No, there doesn't appear to be any opening mechanisms. There's a few hinges in certain areas, but not in places where you would expect there to be for you to open these things. They're like almost on the side at random points, attached to a random flap on the side of the box. You're unable to discern the purpose of them or their function or anything like that. It's completely foreign to you.
Has anyone seen or ever heard of weird leathery boxes with brass details outlining them?
No, what's in the box?
What's the
Do you
bar?
want me to check?
I mean, when in Valvaris,
I was born here, but okay, whatever. And I'll try and see if I can pry it open.
Okay, Artemis.
Yes.
Back in the room with the levers and the discs. What are you doing?
So, sort of weighing up options and having put the tail back in at this point, and sort of, I assume everyone else has. Just as a quick aside, if I try and tap into it, does it still feel like the frequencies are open for outward communication?
Yes.
Okay, so people can. So okay, that's fine. Not that
So
I'm trying
you send back a message to Quill or something like that, and he responds.
First time I've spoke to Quill, but sure.
Whatever you choose, but you do a com check.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so the communications still work. Sort of bringing Jackson Arthur into the room is like, all right, we're not gonna figure this out without actually having to go through, which is what concerns me. So when Lumiel and Marcus get back, if I set you guys up to pull the levers in sequence, I'll stand before the portal. I have the most experience with this stuff. Maybe I can mitigate something. If it happens, we'll see. But we'll pull them, see what comes of it, and then hopefully it's not a portal to the Nine Hells or the Plains of Eternal Fire. I don't know. Just one of the many realms of utter horrible chaos that exist. Okay?
it could just take us across the city somewhere.
It could, in best case scenario. I'm just thinking of the things I've seen.
It could take us to the Far Realm, and I would very much like to go there, please.
We're not going to the Fey Realm. No,
the Far Realm. I don't want to go to the Feywild. I've read books about that place. It does not sound like somewhere I would like to go.
Okay.
Right. I'm going to position Arthur and Jax at levers 2 and 3.
Okay.
No, 2 and 1. So I'll put Jax at 1, Arthur at 2. And then I'm going to walk back into the main sort of foyer thing and just tell them to wait there, point out which one is 1, so they know which one to do, to send someone to. And then I'm just going to sort of go to the door where they were and it's like, you guys done yet?
Okay. Do you guys pull the levers?
No. I'm waiting for to be
Oh, you're talking about Marcus. Marcus,
Yeah.
you begin to try and open this box. You do not find any... I'll use your previous investigation check. You don't find any opening or anything like that. You find a few panels and things like that, but you're unable to pry them open. There doesn't appear to be any latches or anything that you can get into. It's very contained.
Right, well, these boxes suck. Either I smash it or I walk away.
In place of Lumiel, assuming I can hear the echo down the corridors go, do you really want to smash it? Does it seem interesting?
Kind
You
of.
want me to have a look at it?
No, you stay where you are, Jax. Just smash the box, Marcus. Just hit it with something. I don't know. Break it.
A box full of temporal crystals. Wormhole underneath the missing dude's house. Valvaris disappears. We're all dead.
I'd like to imagine that Arturius said that out loud. Okay, what are you doing?
Oh, did he?
Oh, please just be food and cheese.
Make a decision. Are you hitting one of the? What are you doing?
Open it, but gently. Let's not, tempt fate. Just pull it open. You're strong, right?
True. Don't need to smack it with a fire hammer. Okay, I'll try and pry it open with my hands.
Make an athletics check for me, please.
Ooh, damn. Okay. That's 24.
24.
Natural 18 plus 6.
He's flexed.
Okay. You begin to yank at some of the corners of this box, and it really doesn't give at all. This thing is rock fucking solid. You keep trying to pull, and you start to hear like the slight creaking. You're even beginning to slightly bend the metal. Does an 18 hit you?
I knew it!
Yep.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds.
Boxes, not friends.
Oh, is Natalie back now? Just in time! Okay. You take.
Marcus tried to prise the box open, and now we've got asked if an 18 hits.
You take 9 points of damage as in a very swift motion from one of the small panels on the side of it. It goes, pops open, and then an arm pops out holding a javelin, which then stabs you in the side.
Oh, boxer suck! Boxer suck!
In this moment, you drop the box as you clutch the wound, and as you look down on it, on the front of the box opens a large eye. Almost the leathery, papery side of it becoming an eyelid as it opens. And you see within the iris of the eye, there is a cog slowly turning. And then the eye goes red, and from the other side of the box pops out another arm, also holding a javelin. And then from its back, 2 more arms come out, also holding javelins.
Oh, is that blue?
Back up!
You begin to back up through the door back into the main room. The rest, Artemis, you begin to see these guys backing up into the room, looking in panic. Marcus clutching a wound at his side that is bleeding.
What did you do? The box.
Do we pull the levers now?
You start to hear lots of other panels popping open from inside the room.
I say yes.
Right, okay.
Shut the door.
Lots of noise now begins to emerge from the
Pull me
southern
out
portal.
quickly into the room with the controllers. They'll show you which lever is number 1. Just pull them in sequence. Okay, Marcus, you stay with me. We have to go somewhere now.
Yeah. I'm just holding the fucking doors.
Okay, you're holding the doors.
Yeah.
Okay. You immediately begin to feel force being applied to these doors as you're holding them. Give me an athletics check.
Can I?
Can I bonus action one thing?
Yep, sure.
I'm putting out potency and sticking it in my leg.
Okay, so you
I
take
need
potency.
fucking plus on this.
Back in the control room, what are you guys doing?
Pulling the levers in the order of the door code 2311.
Okay, so you're pulling the second lever first, which is this one.
Yeah.
The moment you start pulling that second lever, this thing here begins to spin, and then the arrow that was pointing upwards disappears into the wall.
Sure.
It continues to spin while the lever is held. Do you just keep holding the lever? So this thing is, while you have the lever pulled, this disc here is spinning. Slowly, but it's spinning. Or do you pull the next one?
Oh, and we're not doing it like in sequence. So we pull 2, pull 3, pull 1.
If you're doing it
pull
quickly,
1.
yeah, go. Okay, so then you pull number 3.
I'm asking. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so you pull. So you
Sequential.
pull 2. You pull 2. That one starts spinning. You then immediately pull 3. This one starts spinning as well. This arrow that was pointing this way turns, and the moment the arrow points to the center of the room, this thing illuminates. Artemis, in the main room, this crystal here illuminates, and the golden trace along the floor fills towards the portal, but nothing yet happens.
And then I go to 1 and I pull it twice, like consecutively. So
Okay, so you pull number 1 twice. It begins to spin. The moment you pull it once again, it stops spinning, and there is now an arrow pointing downwards. This one, which has continued to spin, eventually the arrow comes round, and as soon as that points to the thing in the middle of the room, it stops and illuminates. Artemis, this crystal over here illuminates in the room.
So only 2 of them have illuminated.
Only 2 of them have illuminated. The one that you pulled twice has now stopped, and you see no arrow.
Okay.
There continues to be banging at the door behind you until eventually it feels like they're starting to get through.
Gil, did it work?
No, we've only got 2 crystals open. I can't see in there, but whatever you gotta do. So I could if from the crystals that have illuminated, would I know which disc relatively in the room is pointing whatever right way it is at the moment within there?
2 and 3.
Yeah, so yeah. Discs 2, disc 3 are in the correct position. The temporal things are glowing. Whatever you gotta do to the other 2, get them pointing in the right direction. Figure it out from in there, please.
Both
We got
of
problems.
those, they were pointing towards the center.
The arrows on the discs were pointing towards the fountain in the center.
Arthur, take 4
Yeah.
until it hits the center, and then stop. I'll do the same with 1.
Yeah. Okay. You first, so that because of the code.
Yep.
So number 1 first.
Yep, and I will try and get it so that the arrow reappears, hopefully, and points towards the center.
Okay, you guys pull the levers and the discs begin spinning. Eventually, both of you see arrows emerging on the discs from the walls, and they begin to point towards the center. As they reach the center, the 2 remaining crystals illuminate, as does all 4 crystals in the room, and you see a swirl begin to emerge in the portal. However, at that moment, from this door here, you see strange geometric figures start emerging from the door. First, 1. Kind of upside down pyramidal creature holding 3 javelins. Another then follows, followed by one of the box-looking creatures. Now they all have ears and features which have emerged from their leathery sides, and they are wielding weapons. They make strange chirping electronic noises at each other as their singular eyes dart back to each other and then to you. Marcus, make me an athletics check.
Yep. 16.
16. You are thrown back as this door bursts open, and from within, 4 more of these creatures begin to emerge.
Fuck, we need to run, guys.
That is where we're going to pick up next week.
No.
As these straight box-like mechanical creatures begin to emerge from the darkness to do horrible things to you.
Shit.
Brilliant.
Good luck with that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hopefully that's all of them.
So we don't touch the things.
Well, that's not what Arturius says.
Kill it. It's
Or
okay.
Gil, for that matter.
Oh, now you might not have a choice. Anyway,
Yeah, let's just kill
You
it.
can just
It's fine.
leave.
Thank you for joining us on this one, guys. We're going to be back next week for delving deeper into whatever this ancient dungeon is with these strange mechanical creatures here protecting it. Maybe? Who knows? We'll find out next week. Thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for joining me again. It's been a couple of weeks since we played, so it's a bit slow getting back into the rhythm of things, but we're back in it now. We're going to start out with a bit of combat next week, and we hope to see you guys there, because we'll be there. Thank you for joining us this evening. Have a lovely evening, and we'll see you next week.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.